Hello, good evening, good love, good light, illuminators and way showers. This is Wendy with Languages of the Lights, and Alicia with Temple Beautiful, and Guru Dan, and Amazing Grace. And we are gathering together in this gathering of lights to just share some fun, some new moon manifestation energies, some card readings. Anybody who wants to leave a comment, actually, I should probably watch the comments in case there's somebody who wants a card pulled. So yeah, if I'll have to keep my eye on it there. So I just we were kind of just wanted to get together at a impromptu little hangout and share just some wonderful energies, and we just kind of decided to do this last minute today.
Yes, we did. You know, we could start off with that grid that I randomly...
Yes, and so yes, I'm so glad that you said that, because I did want to, you know, this thing's been having some tech issues too, so it's supposed to bounce back and forth when we talk, but it's not happening, so now I'm kind of, anyway. So I will try to be cognizant of that. But yes, please do. So yes, okay. She shared her grid today, and so it was kind of interesting because she's like, you know, it's been a long time since I've done this, like many, many years. And I said, well, how fitting that you would do it for the first time after many years on the new moon. And then talking about what to call it. And I was telling her to post it. So if
which
you
I never
could
got
also,
around to.
Well, yeah, I know. Well, you had a rush order. So, I wanted to just say that Alicia Temple Beautiful is a historic apothecary. So she got a rush order in for some historic 1918.
It was 1914 lip balm.
Lip balm.
Yeah.
So she was whipping up her brew of 1914 lip balm. So you know, put a shout out there. What's your Facebook page called?
It's LBCC Historical.
LBCC Historical. And so she literally researches the historical ingredients and recipes of these magnificent beauty products and recreates them in today's world and in a blissful
Yes, so exactly. It's very blissful, very light-coded, very awesome way where we can combine the greatness of the history that they don't really teach us, and we can get natural, healthy, organic ingredients out to everybody, and they can relive a bit of history and have encoded light language and DNA activations inside.
Woohoo! And that's something that we actually have been wanting to have a hangout about, her and I, because I've been wanting to talk about that too, about this encoding and infusions of light languages, and how we're able to infuse it with water, into water, and how we're able, they're healing, and that we're able to literally, I do it with my own stuff, even when I'm making my own essential oils at home and my sprays and stuff. So but let's I wanted to, if you could, show your grid, and I wanted to then, so then I said, well, just ask what you think it means.
Can you see this? Wait.
Yeah, there you go. That's actually a good shot right there because there's no glare.
Okay.
And so, is that all selenite? I got my selenite.
Yes, a lot of it is, here. And then up top, there's a whole bunch of different blue ones, blue stones. On the bottom, there's green. On the left, there's pink. On the right, there's red. And then there's just natural stones mixed in to form almost like an infinity symbol.
Yes.
With triangles. And so Wendy told me that I should just ask and it would come. So I decided to record some light language and then listen to it and just write. And so I put down in there in the chat what it was about, but I'll read it for those of you who don't have chat after this gets posted.
Yes, and I wanted to, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Please read what you got.
I told Wendy it was kind of a lot, and I wanted to make sure that I articulated it well. So here we go. So this grid is the integration of the past and present and the infinity of our vast selves, our souls, uniting from the darkness to form the whole. Just like the moon cycles, we are learning to incorporate all of our pieces of self. So like the moon, as we cycle from darkness, building up our light, building up our light, we can be made whole and shine brightly as a guiding beacon.
And I loved that. I just thought that was just so perfect for the new moon.
Love that.
Isn't it great? And it was
magnificent.
But I wanted to kind of just reiterate just a little bit about, because I think the process was really cool, because she said, well, I said, oh, you really need to post that, and she said, well, I don't know what to call it, and I said, well, just ask your guides, or ask, what is it, what should I call it, what was the message, and it was like pretty quick. I mean, that came really fast. I mean, it was like,
it did. And I was already like knee deep in like beeswax and all kinds of things from starting the lip balm, and I was like trying to multitask in between, but it was there. So yeah.
So then we were like, well, do you want to do a card reading today? And she said, well, I got to get this. I just got an order for this lip balm, so I got to get this lip balm done. So anyway, this is our real life. This is our life, the life of light languages.
This is
so, because this is, I mean, we're all living normal. We're all living regular lives, and we have families and jobs and people and stuff, and real stuff going on, and chapped lips, and like, because that's how we got in the subject too, the synchronicity of that too, because I just did a video, and I was just talking in my video and I recorded it yesterday, but I was talking about lip balm and my lips being chapped, and then she gets this order today for lip balm, so I thought that was just too hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I also wanted to say hi to Dan and give him a shout out. I was in his healing hangout that he has posted on Facebook, Guru Dan, and you'll have to say the right name, the proper name, Guru Dan, so I don't mess it up. The actual name of your Facebook page, Guru Reiki. Anyway, I don't want to mess it up. You do it.
To Guru Dan Reiki.
Well, that was easy. Guru Dan Reiki.
Guru Dan Reiki. This is
and so I just, it was such a nice hangout last night, and I was actually talking to, and I think he may be tuned in right now. I was talking to my good friend Stargazer today, and I was telling him about your hangout last night, and how all encompassing it is, and how all encompassing it was, and how you included, I say we because I was just listening, so I can't say we. How you, here, let me switch you since my toolbox isn't working. So I just, it was so nice how you included so many different, like the animals, but not just animals. It was these animals and these animals and these animals, and so I liked that idea, and I wanted to sort of encompass all that tonight too, is including the healing of all different kinds. Oh, hello, welcome. Hi, Kay. So I wanted to make it like kind of this new moon sort of impromptu, like just whatever, whatever card we feel like pulling, whatever somebody needs healing on, whatever needs blessing, whatever needs. So I just wanted to shout that out there too for Dan too, that he does some great healing hangouts on Mondays and Wednesdays. So tell us about your hangouts, Dan.
Soul Maintenance Mondays on Monday. It's a trinary structure meditation where we go to the cosmic realm for a soaking in the spa. And Wellness Wednesdays are a healing event. Well, Soul Maintenance Monday is a healing event too, but we just address the soul, the reconnection with that. Wellness Wednesdays are more the healing, where we address everything. Because you hear people talk, and even in the spiritual circles, say, "Oh, we need to heal the world. We want to heal the world." Well, how do you do that? You know, nobody talks about how to do that. So I've come up with a way to do that in under an hour, or an hour. It takes an hour to get through the meditation. So it's a guided meditation through the sacred space I've got going on over there on Zoom. And we address every being on the planet, and then the planet, and then we heal it. It's fun. Everybody should try it, because it lets you address everything that there is to address, so that you can actually release it from your light body, get it out of your system, let it go, get it out of you. Because if these things are in you and causing you ill, then not addressing them only serves to prolong your discomfort. So coming up with a way to address all these things and get them all going in some kind of fashion. And it's getting easier and easier. The events are, I've been doing them all year. And so they're pretty streamlined.
Very.
At this point, coming up to October now, where it's just, all right, we're going to do this people this way, and we're going to do these people this way, and then we're going to do the animals. And so, the categories, it gets done in categories. And it's pretty fun. And everybody should do it, because it's the best Reiki on the planet.
And I like that. I liked how you had that, how you posted that,
yeah.
The best Reiki on the planet. Yeah,
because if you're not there, you're missing out. Because if you're not there, you're not addressing it. You're just not, honestly. It is. It is the best Reiki on the planet. Come get it.
Yes.
Well, you can get it while it's free. That's another thing. These are free for right now. Yeah.
Exactly, and that's and also I wanted to say that too, that that Guru Dan also does private sessions. I started doing private sessions, and all of us are gathering together, and we've been getting this kind of call. We were talking about this last night after Dan's hangout too, and that's the fun. And actually I wanted to bring that up too. Half the fun of these hangouts sometimes is the before and after banter and the the stuff that goes on, and the things that we talk about afterward too, because when you're not, when the camera's off, if you will, and you let your guard down a little bit, we're able to share even more intimate details and sharings about our everyday lives, and we're all just multidimensional beings having a human experience here, and it's just a crazy ride. And so it's nice to be able to share those kinds of things in these sorts of settings. So it's not just about attending the event necessarily, even if you're too maybe don't want to speak in public, or you don't want to show your face, or there's a lot of reasons why people can't or don't want to go on camera. Many of us who do this, actually, we talked about that last night after Dan's hangout, there's people who actually want to do this work who are still afraid to actually show themselves on camera. And so it took me a long time. Dan kind of jumped pretty much right in shortly after. Hi Kay, I will I do want to take some comments too, and that's something that when I first met Dan, we talked about that too, is that, I saw him in that kind of a role, and very quickly he was well off into that role. So, and now he's, doing the Reiki and so forth. So we're all getting that pull, that wanting to share, whatever that is. And Grace, I wanted to say hi to Grace. If you wanted to say hi, if you're there. Amazing Grace is also out there on Facebook, and she's always out there sharing card readings and love and light and trying to lift people's spirits. And she's also doing healing and hi. And so we've gotten to know each other through my YouTube channel and through these other avenues, and we're we help introduce people to other people and get people involved. And this, sometimes we're so afraid to be authentic because because of everything that we've grown up with and all these belief systems and all this junk that we're trying to shed. So as we start to do these hangouts together and get to we start interacting with more groups of people, and we start to reach out, and we're less afraid to be our freaky selves, to get our freaky on. So so I just wanted to give a shout out to her too, and she's always my biggest supporter. Whether it's in the YouTube comments or whether it's in private messages, she's always cheering me on and being my big supporter too. So I wanted to let her know that too, and all of you who are watching now, who watch my channel, who comment, who've been there supporting me all along, or maybe you just found it yesterday. Many people, I have to say, really enjoyed the hangout, the last impromptu one that that Alicia and I did together. And it was just one of these last minute things, and we just had such a good time. There's Stargazer. Hi, there's my buddy Stargazer. So we were hanging out today too, and having some of these kind of chats too about just going through this stuff and our own personal stuff and this ascension. And he did we were talking today about this beautiful ritual that he did today. And I don't know, are you comfortable saying hi?
Yeah, give my fingers a rest. And hello, everyone in the room.
This is my friend Stargazer, and appropriate to that, we were actually discussing stargazing today, and we talked about telescopes and taking pictures of the stars.
Yes,
so tell us about your little what was your new moon ritual today?
Well, excuse me there. What I was focusing on to acquiring, but what is the most important thing nowadays than love? Bring in love, for we are all changing, and change ourselves, we change others in the same process. So that's what I did.
Indeed.
With respects to the Mayan elders. The way I did that was burning a few drops of copal resin, not the oil.
So he was explaining to me what copal resin was, because I didn't know. So he was explaining that a little bit to me today. And I had this really weird, so I have to interject for a second, Ray, because I had this weird thing happen. So he was telling me in typing that he did this thing with the copal and he burned it, and he did this new moon ritual thing. So then we were going to chat, and then so I was doing something, and all of a sudden I felt this like big rush of like love, like heat, like this heat wave of love come over me. And I thought, wow, that was a strange sensation. So the only things that I had heard in my head were the copal, and then Mayan, because he had said it was something about the Mayans. And so then when we started talking a little while later, I was explaining that, I asked him what his ritual was for. And that's when he said, well, it was for love. And I was like, well, no kidding. Because it was just, you can't make this stuff up. I felt it, and yet I had no idea until late, until a little bit later, what what his ritual was about. But I literally felt this connection to the copal, even though I had no idea what it was, and this Mayan ritual. And I thought, well, I'll be darned. I'm like, all of a sudden, it was as if I got this download that said, well, this is something I've done before. This is a I've done this ritual before. I've actually burned this stuff before, and because I'm very connected to the Mayan energy and the Mayan pyramids and all that. So, and then of course, Temple Beautiful, and then we got all that pyramid energy. And so anyway, it was just really interesting how, sorry, my lips are really chapped. So, how we were talking about all this today. So I like hearing how other people actually utilize these tools, even though they're permission slips. Just as all these oracle cards are, they're ways for us to allow our spirit guides and our guides and the cosmos, if you will, to talk to us through stuff. And whether it's through these beautiful crystal grids. Look at the amazing message. Now let's just talk about that for a second, because, okay, had you not made the grid, and had we not talked about sharing it, and had you not discussed, like, well, what do you think it's about? I mean, that to me was a pretty profound cosmic message for humanity that actually came through the building of that grid. So that's what, when we talk about permission slips, that's what that means. It was giving, and what I kind of found so astounding was that when I said, well, she says, oh yeah, I haven't picked up these crystals. I haven't made a grid for I don't know how many years. And I said, well, funny how you would do that today on the new moon. And she's like, huh, I didn't even put that together. And I'm thinking, you didn't? I
And then I said, it could be because I didn't have coffee, but then you reminded me that some of your best information comes before you have coffee. And the funny thing about coffee is that I have to walk through the dining room into the kitchen, and my box of rocks is right in between the dining room and the kitchen, right when I walk in there. So I had this notion to put this big grid together, but I was thinking, oh man, coffee, I could really use coffee before I do this. But the push was so hard to get this grid out that instead of making coffee, which is huge, I put this grid together. So I think it was definitely meant to come out. And then,
oh, totally, because
yeah,
I mean, if anybody knows us and our coffee, it's like I'd be like, okay, the coffee would be brewing while the grid was being formed. I mean, because yeah.
Well, you have no idea. I thought about that too. I was like, could we multitask?
But we were talking about that too. Let's talk about permission slips for just a second too, about because one of the first things that is almost one of the first things I do in the morning is meditate, because there's that time, that precious time before actually waking up. But what I found it interesting that I brew my coffee and I'm sitting with it and I'm meditating, and I will literally be surprised where 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, sometimes longer will have gone by, and I've realized I've not even taken a sip.
Oh, really?
And yet I've gone on the most fantastic journey, this morning. Isn't it funny how we?
Well, I was going to say, you're still integrating.
Yeah, and you're right, because you're still integrating from the night. Yeah. You're remembering your astral travels. I remember waking up, and I had to laugh at myself, because as I'm waking up, I'm talking to a bunch of us, and I'm pretty sure Dan was there. There was a few people that were there, and I'm talking to a few people as I'm like, you know how you're talking as you're rushing out, rushing. You're like, I gotta go. I gotta go. So I'm like, I'm late for a hangout, and then in my head I'm thinking, am I the host or am I the guest? And I'm just like, but either way I'm late, and I'm like, I gotta go. And then I zoom into my wake state.
That's crazy.
Before I knew it, I was wide awake, and I thought, okay, that was interesting. So there was no mistaking. It was like so vivid. I was like, there was no mistaking that we were like doing stuff, you know, and then and so what I do is I mean, I'm like, you know, I have a Keurig, so it's like I push the button, and I'm still got my eyes closed, let me tell you, and I'm just like, okay, don't let me forget. What was I doing? Who was I with? What were we doing? Where were we? Were we on a ship? Where were we? What were we talking about? And then I just let it go, and so I just wait to see what comes. And sometimes it has nothing to do with the dream, but I have the most incredible, like today, I had the most incredible connection with this Playel being. And I was like, okay, is this for real? I sit and I'm like, all right, it's, you know, it's early in the morning and I'm sitting outside and I'm freezing. I mean, it's cold outside. The sun is just rising and I'm chill and I'm meditating. I'm cold and, you know, and I'm like, okay, did I just really experience what I just experienced? It's like I could like go away for like 20 minutes and then I realized, holy crap. I mean, I was freezing. I went in the house. I'm like, I'm so cold. So it is a great time to do that.
Well,
integration.
And the grid integration that word was so strong in my mind when I was listening back to the language. And so I think it's the new moon, like it's all about integrating what was from the past cycle, and now we have this new cycle coming, and you know.
Absolutely. And I'm feeling, and I don't know about you guys, but I know we've had full moons and we've had new moons and we get this every month and a lot of yawn. But you know what? For some reason, it feels like these are more powerful, more substantial. They're more important. They're more important to take the energy as the permission slip and use it to increase this stuff, to say, I'm going to use this to manifest what I want to manifest, whether it's losing belief systems that aren't serving me, whether it's patterns, whether it's relationships. Is it, you know, do I need to be, is it health issues? Is it simply I need to change my routines? Is it that I need to start treating myself better? Is it that I need to get out of this job I don't like, that I'm sticking to for all the wrong reasons, that I'm believing that something that I love can't support me, but yet I'm doing something. And this is a perfect example. Hi, Jody. And this is a perfect example of, you know, like you, you know, you're it's work. Nobody says doesn't come with challenges, and that is not hard work. And doing these shows that you do isn't easy.
No.
And schlepping all this stuff and setting it up and doing the shows, and I know what that's like. But yet when you're creating that stuff, the people on the other end can feel it. They know what you've put into it. Your heart's in it, your soul's in it, your love is in it, your light languages are in it, your intentions are in it. So as we all do all the stuff that we're doing, it doesn't matter what you're doing out there in the world. When we start doing it now with intention, and we start taking these full moons and these new moons and say, you know what, I'm really going to take this energy that's being accelerated right now, and I'm going to really say, I'm going to believe that this is really going to propel me in a new direction, that it's really going to help me release or heal or change, or maybe stop maybe stop doing all of that. Maybe stop beating yourself up and saying, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to change, I'm not good enough, I'm a terrible eater, I need to do. Sometimes we need to stop all of it and say, wait a minute, I can't change myself until I accept myself,
until I love myself.
Exactly.
It goes back to love.
Until I love. Exactly. And here we come back now, all of us, it comes back to love.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the problem is. it's always the same answer. That is always the
Oh.
same answer, because no matter where we have resistance in our lives, and if that resistance is causing physical illness, physical pain, if it's causing a shitty job, a shitty relationship, you know, you don't like where you live, it's all about resistance to self-love somewhere. And it was interesting talking about the self-love thing, because one of the things that I got in this downloaded message in my meditation, it was this entire like chakra meditation about how to love each, like they sort of went from my toes all the way up, and then they went into this whole chakra system, like download healing meditation idea about literally dealing with each of the pieces of the puzzle of each of the chakras, and doing it with intention and saying, okay, you know, I'm going to, you know, work on this or do this, or I would like to address this, but stop the judgment, stop the self-hate, stop the lack of self-esteem, stop the vicious self-talk. Instead of saying, I hate myself because, or I don't like this, to start the positive reinforcement and the positive self-talk. We talk about animals. You know, we all know, any of us who has a animal guide with us in the 3D world, knows that they, just like humans, excel with positive reinforcement, not negative reinforcement. It doesn't work. You know that, you know, if you scream at your dog and try to run after him, what's he going to do? He's going to go the other direction. So, but if you are speaking to him and telling him what a good boy he is and coming back and how, you know, good job, well, he's coming back and wagging his tail. And then you show him how, what, you know, well, we have to do the same things with ourselves. We have to pat ourselves on the back. We have to tell ourselves, you know, there's a lot of crap going on right now, and I actually am doing a pretty good job at all of this. And we've got to let ourselves off the hook sometimes too, because you can't, if you're constantly trying to chase something you're resenting about yourself, you're always chasing your tail. And if you want to keep it with the canine, you know, metaphor, we're always chasing our tail. If you're never happy with it, it isn't, I found in my own experience, it wasn't until I accepted something about myself that I didn't like completely. It wasn't until then that I could transform it, because it was always resistance. It was always something I hated, something I didn't like, something I was resisting. And so anyway,
that actually, no, that was really good, because that brings it back to the grid about how you're still integrating all the pieces of self to be that beacon of light. And so
exactly,
because it's all about love and loving yourself and loving things that you may not like about yourself, but learning that that's what makes you unique and that's your story. And if you want to change, you can change, but nobody else is going to change it for you. So
exactly. And you know, I'm very glad that you said that. Nobody else is going to change it for you, because they're called guides for reasons. And how many times, and I've had to, oh God, I'm so glad you said this, because I've actually had to stop myself a couple times this week, where, have you ever wanted to change something about yourself? And so, like, I'll find myself saying something like, please help me fill in the blank. And sometimes I'm even reminded, or I'll say, you know, and maybe they're saying to me, wait a minute, you know, we're not here to, you know, help you necessarily. We're here to guide you to your own
help,
to remind you that you have everything you need. We're just the permission slip, just like you're just the permission slip. And I think people who do healing, or who like to share this part of themselves, who feel that they're teachers and healers, I think are afraid to be vulnerable, because you think you're going to be less of a teacher. But you know what? It's the opposite, because you're doing the work. You're going to the class. You're, you know, the metaphoric class. You're the one who, you know, that's why we're doing this. We're doing the dirty work. And
that's really crazy that you bring that up.
Amen to that.
Today I was just listening to a video that talks about how there's separations because there's people who actually put the work in, even though it's not easy, and there's people who just regurgitate what they're told.
Exactly.
And the only way to make it work is to put the work in, because you can only go so far with regurgitating what you're told.
Exactly.
And you know, I think that's the biggest answer that those of us who are, you know, taking these leaps of faith and you know, taking that extra step are saying to ourselves, honestly, even I will say to myself some days, honestly, you're not applying the tools.
I knew I felt it.
And you're right.
It's beautiful.
It's time. It's time to say, okay, I can listen to this stuff all day long, and you can listen to channelers, you can listen to guides, you can read everything, you can look at all the posts online, but unless you're actually doing the work, it's surface. It's not.
Exactly.
It just isn't getting to the dirt of it, the grip of it, the
vulnerability
parts,
of it.
Yes, the parts that have got that grip on you that you just haven't been able to let go. And we're able to finally say, okay, our ancestors, let's take this back to the whole ancestors and all of that.
Oh boy, it's my realm.
They knew that these were powerful, whether it's Oracle, whether it's Tarot, whether it's the star alignments, whether it was the gods and the guides, whether it was the full moons and the new moon cycles, they understood the connection to these things and that they were powerful permission slips. It wasn't just a bunch of hooey. That energy is palpable. Something that just came to my mind, and I don't even know why. But something I heard the other day that struck me when they were channeling Tesla, and he said, you can literally harness the energy in the sound of the rain. You can take the sound of water, and basically he was saying, and I'm paraphrasing, you could bottle it. You could literally take the energy from the sound of the rain. Now, I'm getting freaky feelings in my tummy right now just talking about this because
it's true.
Because it's true. And the things that I was listening to in this channeling I'm gonna mute you, my friend. So we're getting this idea now that this stuff it's real, that we're using these tools. And these, you know, and they knew that there was powerful manifestation potential with this stuff, and this, and he knew, Tesla knew, he understood that sound and that energy is free, that we breathe it. It's there for the taking, yet so as we get together in these gatherings and we start
alchemizing the energy,
and as soon as we start activating each other, we start activating like the people who, okay, so say you're excited about building these things, or you're excited about being the person who does this alchemical research that you do, Alicia, with your products. we're taking it and now we're alchemizing it in an even new, more powerful way. We're taking this new age of Aquarius, we're taking these new energies, we're taking these new portals that we're all opening, because the more we open them, the more stuff's coming through, the more we're being activated, and then the more of us, you, all of you guys, you start inventing things. You start getting ideas for things. This is where, you know, everybody, look at how many people are inventing, you know, apps now, that people are, you know, building apps, they're writing, the list goes on and on and on. So the more that we get together and start alchemizing this energy, we're able to literally tap into that higher forms of energy and information. And once you tap into it, like he would say, he knew this information was like divinely guided, if you will. He knew it came from not him, that it was, you know, coming from a higher part of himself. And so I think that was just an important thing to add to all of this, because for people who are new to, if you want to call it metaphysics, or if you want to call it new to light languages, or even oracle, or the tarot, or crystals, this is not new. This is not new stuff. This is not new age. That's why because actually, you know, and I'll bring this up again for those who maybe haven't heard this. When I was terrified to tell my husband even that I started speaking light languages and the channeling and all of it that came with it. And he says to me, well, that's nothing new. Well, that's old, you know? And so, and then you start to remember, you know, and so as we tap into these ancestral parts of us, as we tap into these multidimensional aspects of ourselves, whether you want to call it past lives, I personally am of the multidimensional mindset that everything is here and now, that time is not linear, that all of those lives that we think that we've lived before, we're living right now simultaneously, and we're getting glimpses of that all the time, whether it's in the waking state, the dream state. Were we talking about that the other day,
this
Alicia?
Is so funny.
Were we talking about leaving, where you're standing in the kitchen and boom, before you know it, you're like go off in some other land.
Yes.
And before you know, you're like,
and
what the hell?
I just recorded a light language download as an introduction to the past life stories that we're going to start doing. And in this Galactic Language download, it's meant to help open up everybody's cell memory so they can have access to, we call it past lives just to make it easier, but like we all know that we're simultaneously living these, but to make it easier to incorporate, because once you can incorporate all the bits and pieces of yourself, then you're whole. And that is very powerful. That's when you realize what a powerful, vast being you are, you know?
Exactly.
So that's really crazy. Oh my gosh.
I want to say hi to everybody who jumped in the room. So what do we got? Is it Sonia's? I didn't want to mispronounce. If you'd like to say hi, please feel welcome to say hi. Oh, just Sonia. Okay, Sonia. Oh, okay, I get it. Sonia S. Okay, I get it. Hi, Sonia.
Hi, Sonia.
So I just wanted to say hi. If you wanted to say hi, and I also wanted to. We got a couple people. Hi, Michelle. I just wanted to say hi to Michelle out there in TV land, and in YouTube land, and Heather. Who else we got? How Bright Celtic Moonlight. I just wanted to say hi to everybody. I'm so excited that I'm always excited, and I'm always very grateful that we have this venue, that whether we're using YouTube or Google, or whether it's Zoom or Facebook, that we're all using these additional permission slips and ways to connect with each other, and how we joke about that in our past. Hey, Bree.
Hey, Bree.
How we joke about that in our past, how when I was a kid and I would watch like Star Trek, and you know, you have a little flip phone, and then they'd be on the video, and I'd be like, oh yeah, it'd be a cold day in hell before I'd watch people looking at me. You know, I wake up in the morning, I look like hell, and I got my coffee, and I'm like, and I think about that a lot too. I'm like, maybe I should go live one of these mornings, you know, when I wake up and I'm doing my, and I'm like sitting here like this, and I'm just going to sit and channel everything that I'm getting while I'm waking up to everybody going, okay, this is my life, and I'm in my, you know, but
we were just talking about this, Wendy.
I know.
Remember, I was like, I totally did a Facebook Live for the business page in my pajama shirt, and I did not care. That was crazy. Yeah.
So sometimes when my internet, if I talk too fast or something, I get a little laggy. So please let me know. So thank you, Ray, for letting me know. So sometimes I'll turn off my camera because it doesn't use quite as much juice. But I do like to at least be visible as much as possible because I think it helps everybody. Hey Bree, you want to say hey? I just wanted to say hi and see if you I know you were working today. Did you get to do anything? Did you get to do any fun like new moon rituals or blessings, or did you get to think about it at all, or did anything fun happen? Or
oh my gosh, no, I've been feeling pretty wonky today. I've been like groggy, kind of like the whole time I was at work. It was kind of rough for me to get through the evening just because I was so groggy and just like, man, I just want to sleep. I slept a lot last night, so it's not like lack of sleep. It's just, oh, you know, the activations and all of that stuff going on that we're all going through. And I think that's been a really big part for a lot of us recently. We're upgrading. Our bodies are upgrading. You know, we're going through so much, and we really have to be kind to ourselves. We just really have to be patient and kind.
Oh yes, and, you know, even my husband says that too. He's like, sleep like 10 hours he's sleeping. He's like, God, and I'm still so tired. He's like, I think I was really busy last night. Now for him to start saying that, let me tell you, that's something.
That's so cute to hear.
So
I love it.
I wanted to see, is there anybody else who came in the room too that has already been in here that wants to say hi, or that has a mic or a camera that wants to jump in and just say hi? Or I don't want to ignore anybody. I just want to make sure I didn't leave anybody out. Okay, good. So I just want to make sure. So hi. But yeah, it's I've been feeling the same thing. I've been going through this like weird combination of, I've been so tired, and then integrating and downloading and just crabby and sore, and I'm just, it's so weird. And but yet still trying to, and then trying to be nice to myself and gentle and say, okay, wait, you know, you know, practice what you preach, and yeah, be nice to yourself, and
well,
you know.
and like the hardest part for me is still doing our everyday thing, getting our jobs done, being responsible people, and doing, it's just a lot of balancing. There's a lot of balancing that's
Yes,
necessary,
absolutely.
and yeah, extra patience.
Extra patience.
Extra patience.
Well,
and
I think
same with my cat. My cat is walking around crying.
You know, actually, Dan mentioned that. We were talking about that last night. We were talking about animals, and he asked me if Ranger was okay, because people have been talking about how wonky, and he used, I believe, the word wonky. And he was talking about how wonky people's animals have been like this week, you know, and so
yeah, because they're affected just like we are. I mean, different ways, but yeah, that's one thing that's really been on my mind recently, is how animals in particular are going through this ascension as well, and their bodies are upgrading, and they're having all these changes happening, and they're feeling different, and they're confused in their own way. You know?
Oh my God. And I've noticed too, like even the birds outside, like the more I wake up and the more I become aware of them talking to me, they're becoming more like active, and they get closer to us. They start, you know, physically, like they feel safer near you. It's the weirdest thing. And then they just start talking. And then as soon as you start talking about, oh, wow, there's the eagle, or there's the crow, or all of a sudden they're everywhere. It's like, what the, it's like a cartoon, like Jungle Book. You know, where you he starts singing and the birds start following you. I swear to God, it's just like
I'm
that.
glad you brought that up because instead of taking my cat to the vet like normal people do, I had the Arcturians do a scan on her.
Well, see, there you go.
I totally did. I mean, I had them scan myself too because I have an implant acting up, but that's beside the point. So I was like, what is wrong with my cat? I want to make sure like she's okay, or do I have to take her in? But it's probably not a human thing because that's not how this household rolls. So please help me. And so they totally
I'm loving that.
They totally were like, well, we need to just find her. Give us a couple seconds. We'll locate her. And then they said, is she laying down? I said, well, probably. That's all she does. And so they're like, okay, the scan is commencing. It's done. We'll let you know in a couple. And you know what it was? She has so much energy like running through herself right now that she's licking herself bare in spots because she wants energy out.
Yep.
And then they told me that she does have an allergy to wheat. And I said, but none of her food has wheat in. And they said, I know, but I'm just letting you know that she's got this allergy.
Oh, okay. I know that.
So yeah, so
they're probably telling you it's a good thing you don't feed her anything with wheat in
I know,
it,
right? And then I felt bad for a second. I was like, am I feeding her the wrong food?
Is there anything with
it? Cat mama. So yeah, instead of taking her to like the normal vet, I'm like, please scan my cat.
You know, I gotta love how you. Okay, I'm just gonna jump right in here because I mean I love how you jump right into the galactic thing because let's just go straight to the galactic. So now we're talking about taking the next step and saying, all right, let's take this galactic permission slip now. And now I just started doing the same thing. It's like, but wait, I can talk to the Arcturians. Oh, but wait, I can. So now I'm reminded, oh my God, that was the name of my video today. I'm reminded, oh my God, this is so weird. So anyway, because that's what they said. So I'm being reminded that, oh, wait, I'm a healer. Oh, wait, I can call the Arcturians and I can say, hey, can you guys help me heal this? Or can you take me to the Arcturian Frequency Recalibration Center? Or and Stargazer, we were talking about this the other day. We were talking about the crystal room. And that gets into, for people who don't know about human colonies and the crystal room. And please look up humancolony.org and go watch their videos. But anyway, yes, you know, we are embracing our multi-galactic sites. So now we know, okay, we're Yael, we're Shikani, we're Arcturian, we're Lyrian, we're Pleiadian, we're and then all these others, you know, I've been getting this really I've been hearing Beetlejuice a lot lately. Then I come across a channeling. Was it from Brad Johnson? And he's talking about Beetlejuice, and I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly what I needed to hear because that was the tie I needed. I'm like,
Wendy,
yes, oh
Wendy,
my God.
check this out. The last 2 weeks, Patrick has been doing Beetlejuice impressions around the house. Yeah. I kid you not. And then I'll have to have him do them for you sometime. Now
I'm talking about the star system, but
this is hilarious. Okay, so sorry to bring this back around. You said Beetlejuice, and I'm like, okay, no, about the animal thing and the trusting your own instincts now and being able to ask. I have a friend who's just learning all this stuff to trust herself, to trust her intuition. So she asked her pendulum what was wrong with her cat. If, you know, it turned out to be like a small ear infection. If she could fix it herself, it said yes. She kept asking, and then she didn't trust the information, and she went to the vet and got the medicine and spent all the money, and the medicine that they gave the cat is not even helping. So she had to heal the cat naturally herself anyway. So she said it was a good lesson in learning to trust her own divine higher self guidance.
Yes, and I'm so glad that Bree brought it up, that you brought it up, that we talked about panels. Yes, because Bree and I we've talked about this before, Bree and I have too, about asking our own guides and asking our animals to tell us what's wrong with them and trust what you're hearing. So
okay,
I'm sorry,
so
go ahead, Brady.
speaking of following
Hi, Fletcher.
listening to intuition, this is my little Fletcher. He's a little
Hi,
hyper right now, so I'm playing with him with a little stuffed lizard on a stick, which is great. Okay, goodbye. All right. I just wanted to mention what you were talking about with your cat having like weird things going on and you kind of asking and then following the guidance and everything. I recently went through the same thing. My cat had been itching incessantly for months and months and months and months. First, it was rounds of ear infections that went on for over a year, and went to the vet, and the stuff didn't help, you know, the medication they gave. And then I was talking to these other people, but it didn't pan out. Well, once those healed up, he was still itching. It turned out, because I had this feeling like, okay, he might have a chicken allergy. Like, I work in pet food industry. Like, I do sales for healthy pet food. And I've been talking to so many people recently about chicken allergies. For cats and dogs, chicken becoming one of the top allergens for cats and dogs, along with grain and wheat and all that stuff. And it's been so prevalent, so many people are telling me that their dog has a chicken allergy, or they just found out their cat has a chicken allergy, or they're trying to, you know, limit everything. And that's always my recommendation is, okay, well, if your animal's having problems, you know, with like skin, coat, itching, stuff like that, digestive problems, the biggest thing to do is to limit the ingredients first, get on like a limited ingredient diet, and then work your way up slowly, implementing things slowly and seeing how it works out. So for him, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to try out chicken, taking chicken out completely, because I was already doing grain-free, I was already doing healthy food. Well, sure enough, my cat has a chicken allergy, because now that I limited everything, now that I limited all the chicken, he has stopped itching. And this was on my mind, like, oh, well, I'm a bad pet parent, I should take him to the vet, and, you know, I should find out and have them do their tests and have them charge me hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars for guessing. But I was like, nope, first thing I'm going to do is follow my intuition. I very strongly feel like it could be an allergy. So now that I've limited, he's stopped itching. And I also wanted to mention about like the symptoms and stuff. He's been twitching a lot recently. He's been having a lot of like twitches, and it's not, it seems to happen, of course, more when he's getting super energetic and stuff, and, you know, they have so much energy in their body. But I think it is related to these higher frequencies, because it's kind of like, you know, their bodies have to adjust as well. And, you know, I know Wendy recently has been talking about like her eye has been twitching, and it's like a third eye activation stuff. And I've gone through the same thing. And so it's just really interesting when we start to really correlate these different symptoms to finding out that they're actually like upgrades. So it's very fascinating how this
I'm gonna totally try the chicken thing, because
you should.
Yeah, I feel like there's a reason that we're all here, and you brought that up, and like other people have been having it, and so
it's becoming so common. And I get the feeling that this might be because, okay, it doesn't make sense to me if I try to think about this logically, why canines and felines across the board are having an allergy to chicken, like a major allergy, where some of them are, I mean, if they even eat a little piece, you know, it's like some people having peanut allergies, like they will get so sick that they could die. Now, like, and this is even for puppies. You know, a puppy, a newborn little puppy, eats some chicken and they find out they have a chicken allergy. It doesn't make any sense to me how so many pets could be having this particular allergy. But then when I think about it, I'm like, I really wonder, excuse me, if on a higher level, these animals are incarnating, saying, okay, sure, I'll get sick with this problem to kind of show people maybe not the best option. Because I think that chicken in particular, since it's been put in everything now, it's so hard to find pet food without chicken in it.
And it's and then you got the genetically modifying you know, the stuff. And then you,
Exactly.
you know, and then what they're doing is, and then what they're doing to the chickens, and then of course the pet food industry is getting the bottom of the barrel, unless you're the line place where they raise their own chickens, their own vegetables, their own stuff, you know.
Exactly. There's been so much disrespect, I think. It's been it's been such massive disrespect for animals in general, for how food is processed, for how pets are being fed other animals that have been processed in horrifying ways. Working in this industry, I have learned some very nasty facts of how some of this
stuff happens. How we go in all these different directions in these hangouts, but this is important stuff to cover, because this is the stuff that we all deal with every day, and we're, you know, and how we can all take these tools that we're given and to be able to you know, we can intend to clarify our pets' foods. We can perform Reiki on our pets. We can talk to them telepathically. Something else I discovered today, I didn't discover it myself. This is something I've always been cognizant of with my own dog, Ranger, for many of you who've seen him and know who he is. But I do not, when I had city water, I did not feed my dog tap water either. And if you can avoid it, and so today I see somebody posted something someplace, I think it might have been on Facebook or someplace, you know, don't give your dogs, your pets. Now, I guess it would only stand to reason if they've got tinier bodies than we do. You know, if I'm not going to drink it, I probably shouldn't give it to my pet if I can avoid it. Now, even if that just means filtering the water, that's at least it's something. And I'm not saying everybody's got to, you know, I'm not saying people got to go start buying, you know, spring water for the pets, and you know what I mean? But it's just something to be conscious of, that when we are trying to understand our own bodies and how our bodies are reacting now to these higher frequencies, the more lower frequency crap that we are, but you know, that's in our environment, we're just becoming more ultra sensitive to it. It's that we're feeling that true, because the closer you become in tune with your body and what's good for it, the more foreign that stuff begins to feel even. And I mean, I've gotten to the point now where I can't even, there's things I just don't even want to eat anymore. It's not that I like, I woke up one day and said, okay, today I'm going to give up chicken. It was like one day I woke up and said, oh my God, this is grossing me out so much. I can't even think about eating this anymore. And I don't even understand why, because yesterday I loved it.
Yeah, and that's a big part of all these shifts. We're shifting so much now. We can shift in, you know, a 1 minute time span. 30 seconds we'll want one thing, 30 seconds we are like, oh my God, that's the last thing I want.
I actually was reading the ingredients on a couple of things in my cabinet the other day, and I was so horrified that I'm like, how did I miss this? How did I, you know, I'm thinking, how did I not see that this ingredient was in this stuff? And now I'm making the decision, I'm definitely not eating that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just like, I'm not going to eat it. Now I can't. Now, let's go to the other side of that belief system, though, because we are all powerful. And now you can look at that box of ingredients and say, you know what? I don't care. It's not going to bother me. And literally, if you say to yourself, the ingredients that are in here that are not good for me are going to not bother me. They're going to pass right through me, or they're not going to adhere to my body at all. And the only thing I'm going to collect from this box of goodies here is what's best for me. Then I'm going to tell you that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm not saying that that's not true. What I'm saying is most people's belief systems aren't strong enough to be able to do that, because then their underlying self says, I know that's not good for me.
Subconscious, yeah.
Subconsciously. Exactly. And so you're still, you're still introducing some resistance there, even if you're consciously saying, well, I've purified and I've cleansed my body and I've done my intention. And yes, that may very well be, but I also know myself, and I know that I can't look at that label and just, I it's like some stuff I just can't do it anymore. I can't justify it anymore. I can't even pretend to,
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't want to digress too much here on this, but it's a part of this whole ascension process because we're physical beings and we eat food, we drink water, we have pets, we're going through this stuff, our pets are going through this stuff. And yeah, it's funny when I heard you talking about the eye twitch thing, and totally, yeah, it's all related. And even like with and our animals, I already know now just by having like a mental, like, and I call it conversation, but it's like you don't even necessarily have to ask your pet. You literally just have to like close your eyes and like send them a heart question, like it's not a physical question from your mind. It's almost like you're sending them a heart message saying, show me what you need. Tell me what you need. And it sort of comes to you. And some people think it's going to be like this magical download, and you're going to, and sometimes, yeah, it comes in a word or a name or a message, but sometimes it comes like you may come across a billboard on your way to work for like a new brand of dog food that you didn't realize existed, that you thought, wow, you know what, maybe I will give that a try. Maybe and all of a sudden now and then you realize, oh wait, that was a message from my dog or my cat. That was a message from my pet telling me this is a better opportunity for me. This is something that so as we become in tune, and I wanted to read what Jody said too, and she doesn't have a mic, so she can't talk, but she said something earlier a little bit too. She said, so strange, you said that the big oak in the back had every bird in the neighborhood yesterday. There were sounds I have never heard before. And interesting that you say that too, because I too have been hearing sounds I've never heard before. Birds, and I know I relocated to a different part of the country, so there's a lot of new birds I've never heard before. But yeah, I'm really, I feel like we're all becoming really in tune with the sounds that nature's making. The songs of the plants that, we've talked about that before. So thank you all. Thanks, Dan. Sorry guys, we got to talking and stuff. But that was actually one of the reasons why we did this, because we really just wanted to kind of, I don't know, just to kind of invite other topics of conversation into all of this stuff. But so, and actually, I did want to, all of a sudden I felt something bubbling up, so I'm just gonna Naniya Satoshi Pila Isanaki Sotopushna Sasi Balaya. Hi Will. Sotopushna Sasi Ilanina Alakonea. So that's probably all of a sudden I see Will pop in, and all of a sudden I want to start speaking languages. I'm like, gee, what a freaking surprise.
Yeah. I wonder why.
Nikia Satoshni Aliki. So Moye Sanapila Inkia Satoshimi Sasia Sonotki Shasabala Aikila Satoshi. And that's exactly what our guides are saying to us right now is, we them, they are our ET guides, and our families are, that's part of what they want us to share with them. It's not about the big giant, help me with this earth-shattering decision I have to make in my life. They're like, you know what? We need to talk. We want to talk to you guys about the everyday stuff. We want to know what your real life is like. We want you to show us what your challenges are with your foods, your pets, your water. There's other planets that are going through what we're going through. There's other planets that need to know how Earth is doing it. There's other planets and species who are ascending, and they're going through the same stuff, and they may be a few decades behind us. They may be a few hundred years behind us. They may even be a few hundred years ahead of us. But the fact of the matter is they're still going through the same stuff. We're teaching our ET friends just like we're learning from our ET friends. When we're receiving downloads, we're also sending information out to the universe. We're not the only planet going through this stuff. There's planets who are so poisoned that they don't know their head from their ass. They don't know how to get out of it. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to fix it. Just like that's happened here before. And so we've had many Earths like this, and there's other Earths that exist like that right now. There's other Earths that exist where all of these things that we talked about free energy, and they exist, where Tesla's still around, where, you know, the point is that they're all happening. And right now we're engaged and we're aware of this moment, this timeline together and what we're dealing with together. But it's funny how I will ask for something either subconsciously, energetically, and I swear to you, the next day I will wake up and I will see a new invention out there that wasn't there before. Or we've talked about the Mandela effect. You know, many of us have discussed the Mandela effect, where you wake up one day and a brand who had one name one day, and you wake up and everybody says, oh, wait a minute, this used to be called this. Now it's called this. We shifted. You jumped a timeline, you changed your frequency, and you ended up in a new version of an Earth that is more to your liking. And it's more where you're jumping into a life where you're not, where, aren't you guys noticing now that because of the way that we're demanding, all of a sudden now manufacturers are bending over backwards going, oh, but my chicken is free range. Oh, but my chicken is GMO free. Oh, but my chicken doesn't have any antibiotics. Well, that's because we're not only asking for it, we're demanding it, but now we're literally shifting into a new version of this Earth, and where we're literally vibrating in this new frequency in which these new alternatives become available to us. So this is not a bunch of hoo-ha, and it's not about even necessarily changing this Earth. It's about changing you. It's about changing your frequency so that we change our frequency to change our reality. That means you physically, if you want to call it physically, energetically, spiritually, you literally jump into a new version in which you're dealing with different people, different versions of people, different versions of those manufacturers. It sounds like it cannot possibly be, but this is the way it is. So, yeah, I mean, it's this and all of that. And we're all learning how to, once you wrap your mind around one concept, you're able to invite the next one. And then the next one. And so then you're able to say, okay, wait, my hand hurts, or this hurts, or I have this, or, oh, but wait, I know what to do now. Or, you know, we go back to the holistic way of doing things. And now, you know, how long did it take all the manufacturers to come out with the, you know, chapstick, you know, brand? And we were joking about that, how marketing is so embedded into our lives that they become household words. And so we became, but yet look at us all now. We're all going back to, I don't want the chemicals. I want the real beauty, you know, the way nature intended this stuff to be. I want to treat my skin with cosmetics that have been alchemized by a person who cares about what we put on our bodies and what we put in our bodies and what goes into the chemicals and the makeup and the alchemy, and then the energy that goes into what we're creating and what we're putting in and on our bodies. Every bit of this is connected. Every bit of it.
Because it is jumping timelines. Yes. You know what I mean? And I have a short story. But as you were talking about, like, timelines converging and jumping and stuff, I was very good at keeping journals when I was young, dreams and just kind of random things that happen, and very good at dating them. And then I realized that the dates on the page don't add up with how long I would say I knew a certain person. There was like 5 years missing or so. And so I brought this up when I had a session with Takur, and she explained to me that certain like people, galactic peoples, they frequently jump timelines and then will jump back into the current timeline that they're in. And most people have no idea that they're doing this. And there's various reasons why, but the only reason you knew you were doing it was because you keep really good dates of things. So I think we do it more than we realize, and some people probably do it more than others. But I think it's just something that eventually is going to come to light, that we'll actually have better memories of doing this than we do now.
Yes. And Kay Lang said, that's me. I do that. And I come back and people who were my friends aren't. It's weird. And that's exactly right. And it's interesting because, okay, say we're having a difficulty with a situation or a relationship, or we're still in a situation or a relationship. And even friendships that just aren't good for us, whatever. So say we're asking our guides to help us take care of the situation, or how do I handle it? What do I do? And it's funny how you can wake up the next day and have completely shifted into a completely new reality in which either the situation resolves itself, it's already taken care of itself, or they're just not part of your life anymore.
Yep.
They start.
And I asked, because I try to balance really well, like the here and now human with like the galactic portion of like all these simultaneous lives. Sometimes I'm better at it than others, but I still like to have, if I ask a question, I'd like to have like a human answer for it. And sometimes that just doesn't happen. But I did ask, like, is there a way to tell when you've been timeline jumping for a while? Because she said that, just because you were gone 5 years, that it wasn't just 5 years in one timeline, that you would have jumped around. And she said that there is a way to tell if you pay attention, your like you might all of a sudden like wake up one morning with like way more grays, like gray hairs than what you had, or your person, your persona, your the way you act may have totally changed overnight. And so there's certain ways to like kind of tell when you've been on a time jump journey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so that is true. I've done the same thing where the dates have not meshed in my journal. And, I've actually gone back and forth in my journal and I thought, okay, am I cracking up or what? I'm like, this is not jiving. And
yes.
And I got to the point where I closed the book. I said, you know what? I have to just accept that this is.
Yeah. And this is a really good reminder that we're multi-dimensional. We are not just here on Earth in this one dimension, living out our lives. Like, it's
exactly
multi-dimensional, multiverse, multi-timelines.
Timeline, right. So, and I have, I don't want to, we could go on for days because I go from one subject to the next, and I don't even want to get onto that subject because they just told me don't do that because it's going to just deviate completely. So, but anyway, all I'm going to say is even the celebrities are stepping out saying, you know what, this is the way it really is, people. And if you think I'm crazy, then so be it. I don't care anymore
Well, and that's part of coming into your power, regardless if they're a celebrity or not. Once you can step out and just be who you are, like, for example, me starting this like story series in Galactic Light Language about specific past lives to help people become okay with integrating all of their aspects within them. Like that, as you know, Wendy, like we've talked about that a lot. It's been something I've been wanting to do, but I've been like petrified of doing it. So being able to stand on your own and saying, I'm here for the greater good. Like, you can think of me what you want to think of me, but this is actually what's going on, and hopefully it can benefit, my craziness can benefit you in some way, and then you can benefit somebody else.
The thing is I don't think any of us in this room can say that there's not someone who was responsible for the fact that had they not been out there speaking their truth, whether it's on YouTube or the internet or in a book, you know, and I'm talking all the way back to the Celestine prophecy and Seth, and I mean, the list goes on. You know, somebody had to be the brave one to step out and say, this is what I think about this, for somebody else to say, oh my God, yes, I relate to that. So exactly. if we aren't, if we don't go out there and do it, because, you know, how many people have said to even you and me, oh my God, I'm so glad you guys talked about this, because I've been wanting to say it, but I have nobody to say it to, because everybody in my life is still asleep and I have no one to talk to. Right. Or whatever.
Well, and even with our time jump conversation, just what was going on in the chat, where there were people, and I'm sorry, I don't know you guys' names offhand, but they were like, oh my God, this is actually something that I've experienced. And now that it's out in the open, like, you can feel less weird about yourself and be like, oh.
Right, exactly. It's like, it happens to you too, okay? It happens to us too. So yeah, we're all just, you know, even though, you know, we may be out there doing languages or channeling or whatever, first of all, we're all capable of all those things. Second of all, we're all capable of healing and self-healing. It's all about intention and whether or not it's your highest joy and all that good stuff. Is it your highest excitement? How does it apply to your dance here? You know, there's so many varying factors. But it is about embracing all of that and coming out and actually, Bree, if you're there, can I put you on the spot? So
go for it. I don't know why, but go for it.
So no, I just had to say, we're just about coming out, because okay, so I know Bree personally. We've met before. She's been to my house. We've hung out. I know her mom. I've met her mom and stuff. So her mom's met me. But the funny part about it is, her mom didn't really know about any of this galactic stuff. She didn't really, and there's a lot of stuff that there's talk about stories and being brave enough to tell stories. Bree's another one that she's got a bunch of stories about healing and all this other ET and galactic stuff that she has yet to tell in her variety of ways. But she recently, my jaw about dropped, because Bree actually came out of the closet with her mom.
And we're not talking sexuality here. That was beforehand.
No. Yeah, that was an older conversation.
That's older. No, I am so shocked at the open-mindedness and the acceptance and the interest and the intrigue and the, I mean, what happened, what I think you're referring to, Wendy, is me telling my mom the other night about light languages. Yes. I said, yes, because it was just such an amazing night. She came with me to our pyramid energy meetup that we have in Chicago. We host. It's kind of related to the global pyramid conferences that we do, but these are separate because we just bring, you know, authors and speakers and researchers and scientists and stuff just to a nice little cozy, comfortable meetup. And so I brought her with me, and I was, to be honest, I was nervous because I didn't know what the heck was going to happen. We might have been talking about who knows what in that meeting, because sometimes it gets a little bit out there. But because I've been slowly sharing this information with my mom for a while now, it was so beautiful how after we got done with the meetup, and she was so fascinated by the information that was shared about all of this incredible stuff about language and the origins of language on Earth, and about just, oh my God, I can go into all that. But she was so fascinated, and then I started to talk about the healing languages, because the speaker said that she wants to research more into healing language. And I told my mom, I'm like, Mom, I think I know what that lady is going to find. That light language is probably going to be the healing language that she ends up finding is really the very strong language that we can use for healing. And by the, I mean, okay, yes, very grand amount of options there, because it's everything. And yes, okay, everything is a light language, but you know what I mean. Galactic languages, light languages, all this stuff. So soul language. So I told her about it. I told her I started speaking it. I told her that Wendy was an assistant for me in the process, that Wendy helped me to kind of activate it and get more comfortable with it, and then helped the guidance of saying, she said, well, set the intention of speaking it. And then we went off, me and some friends, we went off with the intention of speaking it. And we cleared our chakras. We did a bija mantras to clear our chakras, and we started speaking. So I told my mom all this, and she was so interested and intrigued, and like, she's like, wow, that's really cool. And I said, well, I can actually share some tracks with you if you'd like to hear, you know, because my friend actually put some background music to a song that randomly came to me the other day, and it sounds really cool. I mean, it's very raw. So I was like, Mom, it's like very raw quality, but here, you know, this is something that you can listen to get an idea. And she was just totally fascinated. She's like, that is so beautiful and amazing. And I said, well, there's a lot more where that came from on the way. And she's like, I can't wait. So that was the most incredible response I could have possibly hoped for. I knew that she was going to be open-minded, but I had no idea just how open-minded. And all of this has been a beautiful blossoming of me not putting, again, I'm no longer putting limiting beliefs on other people and on myself, but especially on other people, because, you know, we can be programmed to be stuck in the ways of thinking, oh, well, I know this person's never gonna blah, 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 blah. Well, you can't say that stuff anymore, because we're all shifting, we're all sending, we're all changing, you know. And so beautiful to look forward to the expansion, to look forward to the mind-opening conversations you can have with people who you might have thought were closed-minded. They're awakening as well at their own pace. And if we look forward to the positive things that we can experience with them, we'll just keep getting more and more of it. So it's really beautiful.
That was really awesome, Bree, and I was actually really shocked that she, I guess I wasn't shocked that she was so open-minded, because I know that how you've been sharing this stuff with her a little bit at a time and a little bit at a time. And but I also wanted to reiterate, like we were just discussing a few minutes ago too, though, that by you raising your vibration and frequency, you're literally rendezvousing with a different version of your mom. And so you're able to rendezvous with a version of her that's more able to be open to these things. So it's all very interesting, and I can't begin to say that I understand it all. What I can say is I know what I know to be true innately, even if I can't say it, articulate it, or explain it. It's just a knowing. And so I almost had to laugh, because I was like, so was she shocked when you told her that, like, you know, I speak the languages and have a YouTube channel?
Oh, I was like, yeah, well, Mom, we do videos on YouTube. And she's like, you do? That's really cool. I'm like, oh my God, yeah.
And what was so coincidental is that I've been having this like recurring vision in my mind about me telling my mom, and about coming out to my mom. And because for anybody who knows or is listening, you know, even my family doesn't know. I mean, my husband knows, but nobody else in my family does. So at least not about, they know some of it, like they know about the meditation, and that I do events even, and that I do and they know that I like talk to angels, and that I can talk to some of our family in the spirit world, but we don't talk about ETs. Oh no. And we don't, you know, we haven't talked about languages. But the funny thing is what you said to your mom though, about the starting about the ancient languages and speaking in tongues, and I know I could put it to my mom that way, and she would be able to understand it that way. And
and that's all.
I think
that's all you have to start with. Is
you know,
more on the for those people where that that's their understanding, that's their focus. Then open it up with that. Yeah, we're communicating with the angels, and these are angelic languages, and well, because they are some of them. Like that's a part of it. So
right. That's one of the realms anyway. But
and it was even more interesting that my mom had actually experienced sessions with people before who were speaking these languages, because I had her in some sessions, and I was like, yeah, they're angelic languages. She's like, wow, they're so beautiful. So it just expanded upon that. Like I was doing healing for my mom one time in the kitchen. She had like a headache, and so I was like, oh, I'll just do some Reiki or whatever, and I started speaking light language, and it was kind of quiet and soft, and it wasn't like Yaharo Shanyata. I was very subtle.
Yeah, she'd probably be like, what the hell? My daughter's possessed.
Oh, but it's so much fun. I love it. But anyway, so I was just doing a little bit, very softly, and then at the end she's like, what were you speaking? Was that Japanese? I was like, because my I don't know if it's Syrian or that.
Yeah,
I call it my default language.
Yeah,
they does sound very Japanese. So I was like,
that was Japanese, Mom.
I was like, no. What I said was, kind of, not really, but kind of. And then it just the topic just died down, and then we just went on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she clearly didn't understand what I meant, and I didn't want to go in.
I actually showed my mom and my sister one time my written galactic languages. Like one day I said, yeah, so this stuff started coming to me the other day. Like I started, writing all these symbols and stuff, and they both kind of looked at me and they looked at each other, and they were like, oh, well, that's interesting. So, I think that was, sometimes it's our cue though to know when to back off just a little bit, because we want so much to be authentic, and we want our family and friends to know who we really are, but we have to be careful sometimes too, that in our eagerness and our excitement to want to share this, that maybe just because they may not be ready. And so we kind of get the cues, and we get the body language from our friends and family, as far as how much they can actually take in at a time.
I'll tell you, I told my dad the other day, I was like, Dad, I woke up yesterday and I had a dream, and then a little while later, what I dreamt about happened. And he's like, so you're turning psychic? And I'm like, well, everybody kind of has the ability to be psychic, so I guess maybe I am. I don't really know. And he's like, huh, interesting. And then and I was really, being pretty courageous there with that, because I have to sometimes walk on eggshells there. But I was feeling so bold, and I'm just like, yeah, Dad, it's really interesting, because the whole way that I met the lady where we're planning these global pyramid conferences is she just kind of intuitively felt like she needed to drive 2 hours to somewhere she had never been before, and I felt like I needed to go to someplace I had never been before, and all of a sudden she met me, and then she just realized I did marketing, and then she's like, okay, I know why I had to come here, bye. And I told that to my dad, and he was like, what? And I was like, well, yeah, because she's a psychic, and she does all this stuff, which I had never told him before. And he's like, well, oh, wow. Because he didn't know what to say, but he didn't say that's bullshit. And I thought, with the limiting beliefs, it's like, oh, no way. So it's just so cool to see all this unfolding. Just be excited for what's to come. And if you feel like it's the right time, then that's cool. If you feel like you have to hold back still, then that's okay too. Just, be patient with yourself and with others. But this is so much fun. I'm having so much fun with it. I really am.
Good. Well, I'm glad. I know it's funny. I just all of a sudden started feeling like, so I don't know if Alicia's there, and I told Grace to all of a sudden I started feeling like the energy. I am so like hot right now. We were talking about that last night, that there are times when my energy, like right now, it gets so hot when we start talking about this stuff and my frequency raises, that I swear to you, my glasses steam up. It is the strangest thing. They do. I get really hot and then my glasses start to steam up on my face. So all of a sudden I started feeling like, you know, the languages and, so see, Alicia said the same thing. I'm serious. My face is literally, I am so hot right now. I'm sweating and my glasses just fogged up.
Yeah, my face is burning up.
I was like,
this is not blush, ladies and gentlemen.
This is not blush. This is not blush, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I kind of matched my shirt at this point. That's great.
I was laughing just now at myself too, how there was a time not so long ago that I was actually mortified or petrified and terrified to even speak languages in another room, in the same house with my mate, for fear he might hear me. And so I think it's kind of funny that here we are.
It's such a fun journey we're on. It really is, and we have to focus on how much fun it can be. And wacky, yeah, wacky is another word we can use. But
and if you think about just how much we've progressed in maybe like just a year, it's pretty fascinating to just look back and say, wow, here's where I was, here's where I am now, and that leap is pretty amazing. I don't know how I did it, but I should take some time out and pat myself on the back, because
yes,
I did it.
And thank you for saying that, because how many of us even look at now, or you know, and we forget, we're like not where we want to be, and we wish we could do this, and we wish we were that way, and then we forget, well, look where you were 3 months ago, or even 6 months, or a year, even a year ago. Even a year ago was so different.
Yeah. I don't think of what's the word I'm looking for, of like human data. Like I don't think about, hey, I want that new car. Like now I'm like, dang, I wish I could just hear the light language and then like tell people what it's making me feel, or you know, where like today was pretty awesome. It just came. This was the first time it just boom, it was there after I was listening to it. So today is like a major step for me in doing that. But it's small things like that. But thank you. But then you look back and you're like, wow.
That's a big yay, because that's a big yay. Yeah. It's actually kind of
that's like chocolate cake and espresso yay.
I mean, really, that's like, I mean, seriously, that's how you start to measure the success of a day by, how did I awaken today? How did I make somebody else feel better today? How did I reach my highest excitement today? What did I do that really made me feel amazing today? It's not about what can I get, it's about what can I give. It's about what can I do for myself. You know, our barometer of what is a good day is changing, and I think it's in a good way, you know. And how can we relate to another person? And so I'm sitting here and I'm getting this guidance all of a sudden. So what I did was, okay, that's really weird, because I opened up, that's strange, because I opened up the shaman page in the book. So that was kind of weird. And I wasn't meaning to do that, because I didn't even pull the shaman card. But as I open it, I look down and it says shaman. And of course, what does it say? Ancient healing wisdom. So that was part of the message, I guess, for right now, is all this is not new, it's old. What we're sharing is like this new age, this new awareness of ancient wisdom. And all of us that talk about the pyramids and the ancestors and the Native Americans and all this other stuff, the old is new, the new is old. You know, we talk about the past and the past lives, and so isn't that funny though that and it wasn't even the card that I pulled, but it just happened to open to that. But what I found interesting was that the first card, I was guided to the Earth Magic deck, which has the Tree of Life on it. So I really love that idea that we're in this gathering right now, and we're experiencing this idea of, and I actually wear the earrings that I wear. I've worn these earrings for years. I haven't even taken them off, and I don't remember when. And it's the Tree of Life. And so I was feeling that just now, this connection to this, you know, all of us and what we're doing now, and our connection together, and the connection to everybody out there and whoever will watch this. And so, and anybody who knows me and where I live here. Okay, so today I look up, and there again is the eagle. Just, I mean, probably hundreds, if not thousands of feet above me, just circling above me. And it was right at that moment when I was having that question about something, and couldn't even tell you what it is now, what the question was. So all of a sudden, I'm thinking about this earth magic and this magic that we're creating here, and this alchemy, and how we've been talking about alchemy, and this getting together and talking about this everyday stuff that, okay, we call it everyday stuff now, but would 3 or 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 years ago, any of us even be uttering half of these words?
No, and that's why I stopped speaking my language, because I spoke that from little on, and I stopped because that wasn't cool.
Because it wasn't cool. People were like, "What's wrong with you?" And,
I know, right?
all this, and all the stigma is, you know what the funny part about it is, when you grew up, those of us who grew up in the earlier and more thick times, if you will, the energy was a lot thicker and heavier. And it's funny how you, I don't know, I can't remember where I was going to go with that. So it was something about how different the things that we think about now, we would have never thought about then, because we couldn't even entertain those thoughts. And we wouldn't have even imagined having a conversation about chakras and ETs and galactic languages, and it wouldn't have even entered our mindset. I don't know. So I'm thinking about this connection to all of this and all of us, and this earth magic and the eagle today. And what do I pull but the eagle card? And the eagle stands for communion. And so there it is. And then this person in here, I'm not even, this thing's not switching for me. And there's this person looking up at the sky at the eagle and communion. And how I think of communion as this, what we're doing and what we're sharing, and how we wouldn't have, it's just the conversations that we're able to have now, we weren't able to have 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, that these, and we aren't even, what surprises me the most about that too is how we're still singing the same songs and talking the same stuff, and we're still wanting the same things that I remember hearing when I was a kid, when we were talking about Vietnam and about peace and about love and about flower power and about, I want to do it. I want to, you know what I mean? It's here we are. And they were talking about the age of Aquarius. Well, here we are. This is it. This is the age of Aquarius. So, so here we are having this, what I'm feeling like is a communion, of energies, and how, and how we've been talking all tonight about the connection between the spirit world and our animals, and being able to talk to our animals, and just all of this stuff. And here the man and the eagle make contact through their eyes and spirit. The man has performed a ceremonial calling to Eagle Brother, who now comes to him as a familiar friend. It's an intimate relationship between human being and feathered being, one of both spirit and flesh. And I've got this great, I don't know if you can see this, my beautiful collection of feathers here. I mean, I've got turkey feathers and hawk feathers, and I do not have an eagle feather. And I mean, so many other, water birds and crow's feathers, and So I'm deeply connected to this idea of the feather and freedom and the air spirit and all of that. So, and the fact that I've moved to a place where I literally have a family of eagles literally in the tree behind my house is just, I feel so honored. And then I remind myself, wait a minute, you did this. You did that. You know, we have to own what we create, and that includes the good stuff. We're so used to owning all the crap that we forget to own the good stuff. We forget to pat on ourselves on the back and say, look at where I've come in the last year, in the last 2 years, in the last 5 years, in the last whatever. And then we can't even begin to imagine what we call tomorrow will bring. And every time we change our frequency and raise our vibration, and we rendezvous with higher versions of each other and all the other people in our world, we're able to commune together in a different way, and we are literally changing our reality. So I find that very congruent with what all of this is about, and the idea of the eagle, and seeing things from the absolute highest perspective that we know of. The eagle is probably the thing that you know, flies the highest, is the eagle. So that we get this card today about seeing things from a higher perspective and using our instincts. I mean, animals travel by instinct. The eagle travels by instinct. So I just find that very synchronistic all the way around. And yet it's ultimately this deep spiritual kinship that connects them, formed from the recognition of the sacredness of this bond. And this eagle spirit is often associated with the highest and noblest, encouraging us to let our spirits soar. And so, I mean, I didn't even finish reading it, but I really believe that that's about what these gatherings are about too, is allowing each other, as we tell our crazy stuff about all this crazy stuff that we go through, whether it's our normal everyday about talking about coffee or meditating or whatever it is, that you know, in sharing this stuff and telling our stories and communing with each other, we help each other feel, you know, we help each other feel that we have this thing in common. And the more I've learned about meeting people from all over the world is no matter how different we are, I'm so surprised at how the same we all are. It doesn't matter where we live. We're the same. No matter what country I've met people from, we all have the same human heart. We're the same, having the same journey. We're doing the same thing on here on Earth. And we're just all doing it uniquely. And then I had to laugh because what do I pull, guys? I swear, the wolf card. Now, come on. Seriously, I pulled the wolf card. Now, you know, I know both of these are a message for me too. And I get all that tingly, tickly feeling because I know that I pulled this wolf card for me, and I pulled it for all of us because we're being told now, you guys, instinct. The card is about following your instincts. And, you know, do I really, I don't even think I need to care. I don't even think I really need to read the book, you know, what it says about it, because I think really that's what the essence of this message is. And of course, being my name is Wendy Wolf, because that really is my name. And so, and the wolf, you know, and again, the wolf travels alone when he needs to travel alone and when she needs to travel alone. But wolves like to be in packs. We like to be in packs. We humans want to be accepted in a tribe. We want to be loved, and we want to be nurtured, and we want to know that we're accepted in our differences, that we're not despised or bullied because of our differences. We're supposed to be embracing each other because of our differences. And every channeler and channelee and so as I see this stuff still going on in the world, and bullying, and I will say out loud, you know, my niece was not only a victim of cyberbullying, but she was a victim of bullying in school. It was about what she looked like. It was about what she stood for. She had a very higher level of thinking, and she was labeled and drugged. and she committed suicide at 15, like less than 2 weeks before her 16th birthday. So, and it's still happening, and it's not just kids. You know, this is happening. You know, adults bully adults, and so it's about, as we share this stuff together, and we share this, whether it's oracle readings or light languages or whatever, and just talking about all this stuff together, we become more loving and accepting of every single being, color. And then Alicia's going to laugh because we were talking about this today, about color and about being, and I said about how I like the fact that I was born color blind, and I don't mean that literally. I mean that I wasn't taught that people were different because they were a different color. That was not the way I was raised. And so, but yet I also grew up, you know, we were all a victim of something because we came here to be victims of something because we needed to teach how to become unvictimized, right? So we don't need to go into who did what and why. We all chose what we chose for a reason. So so anyway, I just wanted to share that the cards that I pulled, and we kind of, I loved where we went tonight with all of this stuff. So
I have a card too, Wendy. When you
so yeah, I was just say yeah. So if you're ready, if you want to pull one, I'm kind of going with whatever the world needs to hear tonight is what's gonna come out.
This is good. This is good because this brings it again back to the whole unconditional love. But I don't know if you guys can see this. This is from an Isis, goddess Isis oracle deck, and it was the Lady of the Stars, the priestess of Sirius. And it says, Sirius is a celestial goddess, a star of unconditional love and wisdom that is extremely high vibration. It brings a deep soul awakening and spiritual gifts and a high capacity for divine service. It is also about an empowerment, and she tells us to pay attention because something significant is about to take place. It's all about the heart in question because the heart must be able to consciously cultivate unconditional love for any sort of healing to occur. So I could go on and on. These are like really long, but it's all about unconditional love and stepping into yourself and healing, and then being able to receive assistance from Sirius and Isis, and then being able to help others after you've healed yourself with unconditional love. Unconditional love. That is
unconditional love. And here we are back to self-healing, self-acceptance, self-love. From the first moment, you know, whether it was Bashar or Abraham or any other the popular channels and all of them since and before, they're all telling us the same message a different way. And yet we're still not getting it. I cannot believe how many of us still hang out. And even last night in the hangout I was chatting with last night with people who do what we do, who are still afraid to be themselves. They're afraid to even do this. They're afraid to come out and speak languages. They're afraid to do their oracle cards. They're afraid to, and I think, wow, you know, as far as we've come, we've got so far to go, because if we don't, we've got to continue to share and invite and make these events and do meetups in our own private towns. So, and I love that Isis deck. That was amazing. What a perfect card. See what I mean? Hey Grace, you got any cards there?
I've got my cards. I've already pulled. I
figured you probably did.
I did, and it kind of goes along with everything.
Of course.
But the main thing of this deck right here, that I bought it because the praying hands, but on the back of it is the chakras. And I've been drawn to my chakra deck for I don't know how many days now. It's like 3 or 4 days.
I love that one.
Chakra,
what is that?
Chakra.
What's the name of that one? The deck?
Conscious Spirit.
Conscious Spirit. Okay, the one I used was the Earth. I just wanted to let, I used Earth Magic from Stephen Farmer. Wow, that is, I love that deck. The one that you got there.
And the card that came was Find Your Bliss. I am following a path of love, and I am fully aligned with my soul purpose. This is what really stood out to me. And then integration number 44. This one's 15. This one's 44.
Boy, I like that you use the numbers too. Oh my God, those are beautiful. Look at that, you guys. Integration.
I combine body, mind, and soul to lift all of humanity to new dimensions. I'm not going to go into the book read, but I'm also drawn to do some Galactic Reiki for that. And it's going to enter, if everybody's okay with me doing an energy ball, per se. I've not done this live before, so this is like stepping way out of my comfort zone.
Well,
I've done it live on Facebook and stuff.
New moons and new moon, new beginning. There you go.
And it's going to enter your back heart chakras. It's going to expand and clear and cleanse each and every chakra, grounding the root all the way up through the crown. And it's going to also the aura of protection to clear and cleanse the auric field around you. So I've already done my prayer work, called upon the angels. All I need is for everybody just to be open to the energies, to receiving. It'll enter your back heart chakra. Just remain grounded and open. You'll probably feel some heat. And love comes in every single ball, just so you know. But I'm really guided to do chakra clearing and cleansing for all that are watching, here present, and also those in the replay. I need you guys to take a couple deep breaths, because this is a big one, and it is hot. All right, everybody, I need you to take a deep breath in and out, and be open to the amazing grace. May it bless you all in so many beautiful, wonderful ways. Man, that one's still going. I hope it blesses you all in as many beautiful ways as possible on this beautiful galactic day of new moon beauty. Everybody got quiet.
No, that was wonderful.
That was amazing. I'm just
I'm still like
listening to it going, whoa.
and integrating it. Yes.
Well, that's the integration.
I love it.
Oh, that's so awesome.
I want you to know that the violet flame is behind you. It's coming in through your crown chakra, and yeah, it was just simply amazing.
Totally.
And I was instantly brought into your space by angels, and I got to witness what they were doing through you from behind. Just stunning. Gratitude, infinite gratitude, my sister.
I am humbled.
Thank you, Grace. Yeah, she actually is very, very powerful. So
I'm
Will,
not me without all of you, though. So
I love that,
I'm humbled.
and I like that. I am not me without all of you, and we are definitely each reflections of each other. That is so very true. Hey, Will, what did you get to do today to bless in the new moon?
My video is 94% processed, and then I'll be uploading it.
I was just going to say, let me guess, did you do a video?
Oh, I did. And
of course you did.
yeah, of course I did. Spirit's been talking to me all week about the energy of this week and the energy of this new moon. This is like a super manifestation. Today's a 10-10-10 day. Do you mind if I go along like this?
No, God, keep that. No,
no, so. So, I won't reveal everything that's in the video, so you'll have to go to my channel, Reiki with Will, on YouTube and watch the video once it's uploaded. But today's a 10-10-10 day. Okay, so numerologically, 10 is October, 1 and 9 is 10, and 2017 is 10. We can reduce it to 3 if we like, but 10-10-10 is such a massively awesome number. It's 1 and the 0 is the Hari and the Om, it's the yin and the yang. It's manifesting into reality the forms from the chaos and the formless. And it's the new moon in Libra, and the themes for this new moon are abundance and success. It is so hard to fail with your manifestations in this new moon. Abundance and success via joy and balance. It's also Diwali. It's a Hindu celebration of the Festival of Lights, and it celebrates the victory of light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance. And I would like to say that it's really just the victory of trust in yourself versus the doubt in yourself. For when we allow the light to shine from our hearts, the doubts just fall away. There's so many things that were freaky cool synchronicities this week. I saw a bunch of 3s and 13s this week. And besides 3 being the Trinity, it has to do with manifesting, and 1 has to do with beginnings, joy, uniqueness, individuality. Trust in yourself. Trust to be yourself. Allow yourself to be your truly most awesome self. Because when we incarnate into this life, we are our divine selves. We allow the external programming to change us. And so 13 is about change, a massive change that's coming. And it's not necessarily, and with any change, we can take this new moon in Libra as we can take it in stride with balance. Can we handle the changes gracefully? Allow ourselves to handle the changes gracefully. And I texted Wendy last night when it happened to me. It was, I got to the local grocery store at 9:19 p.m. and the last 3 digits in my odometer were 929. And anytime I get any synchronicities, I'm sitting there texting Wendy. She shouldn't send it off. But I didn't send that one. So then I went into the grocery store. I wandered around. I found some stuff. And at checkout, it was exactly 10 minutes later at 9:29. Guess what my total was? $19.90. So we got a 9, 2 9s and a 1, and 2 9s and a 2 in both aspects of time and significant value, going into the grocery store and coming out of the grocery store. And it's just simply amazing. And even the Google Doodle contributed today because it's so
oh
amazing.
My God, I was just gonna bring that up, Will, because I was just and then and 1019, and then when you said, and the Google guy, I remember when you said the Google guy, and he was actually born in 1910, so I thought that was funny too.
Exactly. So when you write the date the European way with the day first, then the month, then the year, he was born 1910. And
oh, you're right. Oh my God.
Exactly. So in Sanskrit, so this guy's name, he's an astrophysicist. He was born in 1910, and he was the first astrophysicist to win the Nobel Prize. His last name is Chandrasekhar. And Chandra means moon, and Sekhar means crown or sovereignty or crest. So it means the divine moon. This is like, you can't make this stuff up.
I know. So this is how we spend our day, texting about this kind of crap. And then there's me and me and Alicia are texting back and forth this kind of stuff. And it's all day. But I'm loving this. It's just so awesome.
Uh-huh. And the I Ching or the Tao Te Ching came into my awareness this week, and I spoke about that in my video. Really interesting is part of my research, because Spirit only gives me a little bit of the info, because Spirit knows I like to do the research myself and be amazed when I get independent corroboration on facts. So for those that don't know, the Tao Te Ching is attributed to Lao Tzu, who was born in 571 BCE. That just so happens to be 2,588 years ago. And whenever I get 2,500 and change, I instantly start thinking about the precession of the equinox and the changing of the ages, because that's what it is. We just entered the age of Aquarius, and he was born at the end of the age of Aries, moving into the age of Pisces. So this was part of the profundity that was coming in for the new age of Pisces, the I Ching, the Tao Te Ching. And part of so Tao means way, and Ching means collection, or collection of books or great books, but it also means canon and law. Now, Te, the middle word, you can meditate on the word Te, onto all the various meanings and what it really means in a profound way. It's a whole lot of meaning packed into just one syllable. It means the combination of virtue, integrity, and divine power. And when I'm trying to come up with a better way to say that it's just the way to enlightenment, Spirit comes in and gives me the English words that they want me to use, which is the divine law of the universe. It's as simple as that. And so I went to near Lake Ontario, which is one of the Great Lakes. So a couple of days ago, I threw some coins and received hexagram 58, which is Tui, or the joyous lake. And there's a lake above and the lake below. So I'm sitting there talking about the lake on the lake, and I'm at the edge of Irondequoit Bay, where it flows into Lake Ontario. So I'm at the lake on the lake. And I'm making my video, and I'm going to start uploading it soon. And it's just astounding how Spirit just bombarded me with totally relevant information to share about how to be our most authentic self, and how when we manifest from our most authentic center, from our virtuous divine power, that we can't help but manifest exactly what we need and want. It was simply amazing. Was dumbfounded at all these things that Spirit was leading me to.
And isn't it nice when you allow yourself, and we allow ourselves, when you allow yourself to understand that that's exactly what that is, and that it's how it comes to us that way. It's not always the way we think it's going to come. That the answers come that way through things like that, like your odometer reading, and the amount that your money comes to at the grocery store, the license plates. I mean, we're all posting this stuff all the time. What an amazing, beautiful, beautiful message. Boy, that's a good question. I'm looking at my avatar. She's asking me if that's an eagle on there. And you know what? My goodness, I think it might be. Oh my goodness. Well, as far as I'm concerned, an eagle it is. I know Ray, Stargazer Ray, had a message that he'd like to share as well. So go right ahead, Ray. Wow, that's
Yes.
awesome. Good eye there, Alicia.
All right. First off, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I
Yes.
can. Loud and clear.
Yes,
All right.
we're good.
All right. Good. Good. Your manifestations on this day will come forth in the weeks from now. Be not afraid of what you lack. Just let it happen. It will open up for you. We are not alone, nor shall you be ever again. It is a journey to understand oneself within your shell and understand where you come from. This is a new time. And that's what the shaman's path. Let all come to you to show you of your path right now.
That was beautiful.
That was perfect and so beautiful that it melded right into the whole. We talked about the shaman earlier, and isn't that what the shaman is? He brings she, the medicine woman, the medicine man, they bring the information from the spirit world into the human collective, into their community to help the good of the all. It's never about the shaman. They are simply the conduit. They're there to assist the community. And that was a beautiful message. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Also, this is from my higher self. Love yourself, for love can conquer all. Listen to the words people say, for there's messages in them for you. Be who you are, not what other people think you should be. In that, you will grow and know who you are to be, why you came here, and why we serve. Blessings unto your road, and may it meet your feet lightly. Go throughout your life and know you are more than what you think you are. Be strong and confident so that you can help others, and all will be revealed to you if you just ask. All yours, Wendy.
I love that. Thank you so much for that wonderful message.
Beautiful.
Absolutely wonderful. And I wanted to thank Ray, Stargazer, for sharing that message with us today. This is one of the first times he has actually allowed himself and his higher self to be presented to the world today in this way, in this now. So this is a big step for him. This is a very big new beginning for him and his endeavors moving forward. So as many of you may not know, and those of you who would watch perhaps may not realize that. So I wanted to just mention that's that was a big step for him today. And it's interesting because while we were a few minutes ago, right before you said you wanted to head a message, I pulled a card for you, and it was believing in magic. And I just wanted to show it to you because if I'm not mistaken, was that the card I pulled for you the other day?
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
And there was another one too, but I'm like, okay. I'm like, was that one I pulled for you the other day? I'm like, okay, wait a second. So
Let's
true
keep
magic.
the other one personal.
Yes, I will. True magic is abounding in my life. So I just wanted you to know that. I just wanted to pull that for you because there was something that you talked about and that you were hoping for and wishing for, and that we talked about today. And the card meaning, and I'll just read a little part of it. It says, "It is indeed a magical universe. Spiritual dimensions and mystical realms are only a thought away. The key to opening these doors is to trust in something that you cannot see or hear." So I just wanted to pull that for you. So
Yes.
what a beautiful message all the way around. And thank you so much for that beautiful sharing tonight. That was wonderful. I'm happy that this new moon and this new beginning has allowed you to shine your light tonight in a new way.
Yeah.
I'm very, very grateful. Thank you very much. And I did want to, go ahead.
Say that again, what you just said.
Okay. Nishatia asanate, nashikia natea kagiala kisa.
Siasa Neyama, my friend.
Nishakieta Anisa. Thank you. Oh my God.
Welcome.
That's the first time he's spoken languages.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That's so amazing.
Even to me. He's never done it with me. He's not done it with me privately either.
Wow, that's so wonderful.
Nishakia. I am honored beyond words.
That makes me cry. I'm crying. Tears of joy. Nashikito ayanahiyo doya.
Nyasato, she says we speak the same language, my dear star brother, Itanakia.
I do not understand what it means, but they'll tell me.
You don't have to. You know what?
Yes.
Rarely is there a verbal translation, and usually it pales in comparison.
Right.
So it's okay. Anyone who feels light language, galactic languages knows you feel it. It's in your heart space.
Yeah.
So that's why I was so overjoyed. I was crying. That kind of explains what the language was explaining, that we didn't know what the language. Yeah. So I feel like a proud like mother. Like that's
Mommy, see?
I do.
It is, and that's how we want everyone to feel when you leave this hangout, when you walk out into the world. Go be a proud mama. Go activate somebody. Go shine your light to show them their light, and then go walk away with your feathers, your eagle feathers flying, going, I did that. I did that. Because you did that. So, and we got to own the good, you guys. We're so used to owning the bad and the ugly. Own the good, because it's going to create more good. And so this whole thing was just amazing, an amazing creation of good. And this is why we like to do we like to do it kind of spontaneous and impromptu. And even though we spent half of our time talking tech before we even got going, but it was something that we needed to do too. But the point is that to get together and to do this stuff, and this is what we're doing for each other. So what an epic evening, and what an epic day. And I have to, Trisha, my buddy Trisha out there, she's out there, and she's always having to work. She always misses our hangouts in the evening, which is something else we've discussed today about doing them during the day too, so we can stagger them so different people can come who aren't able to always make it in the evening, and vice versa. But anyway, so I wanted to pull this for Trisha. Hey, sweetie. Walking in Beauty. And I absolutely love this. And she posted a picture of herself, and it had I think it was on Facebook, and it had a bunch of stars and things around it, and I thought it was very synchronistic that I would pull this walking in beauty card for her. And so walk in your beauty, girl. This is your permission slip, and our permission slip, all of our permission slip, to walk in your beauty, to be yourself, be your unique self. Don't worry. You know, we didn't plan any of this tonight. We didn't really know what we were going to talk about. And yet wherever it goes is because where it needs to go. And whoever watches it, that's your now. This is our now, your now. And so we all need this now. And we're all walking in our beauty. And we're getting comfortable walking in our beauty. We got way, way, way too comfortable as a human species walking in our ugliness and just thinking that that was acceptable, that that was okay, that we weren't, that squelching our light was okay, that not showing our gifts was somehow okay, that not showing the world our beauty was somehow acceptable behavior. Well, guess what? We start to get sick. We get physically sick. We get mentally sick. We get spiritually sick. We build up resistance. We create diseases that never existed before, and then we create energetic healing for a disease that didn't have, that supposedly didn't have a cure. So,
Wendy, that card goes with the card I pulled in the beginning that I didn't share with everybody, but it was my message that I needed to surrender to, was surrender to the beauty of the natural world. And it was right before Will actually popped in. And this card always reminds me of Will because he's always out in nature. And it says, take a relaxing break and spend some time in nature, replenishing yourself by feeling the beauty and the ecstasy there, which is so much of what
I think that's what
Will
this
does.
says too. I think this card says, oh my God. It says, as you walk in beauty and feel gratitude for it, your life will be filled with luminous splendor. So it reminded me of this luminous stuff she had around her picture today. And then whenever you can, spend time in natural, wild spaces. As you see and hear and feel beauty around you, your own beauty will grow. So see, Will, you know, Will helps people's beauty grow even when he doesn't know it. And don't we all? How many times do we think about each other in a dream or during the day, and I'll be like, oh my God, I was thinking about you. It's because we're feeling each other. We're sharing each other's beauty, because this beauty that we're sharing doesn't stop today. It doesn't stop tonight. It doesn't stop tomorrow. It doesn't stop next week. We're all changed forever because of every single time we do these. We're all changed forever. And you walking in your beauty in a different way than you did the day before. And I know that every one of us who comes out in every possible way that we have, and whether it's been tonight or this week or this year or that you haven't done it yet, that's what this is about. And this is amazing. We're walking in our beauty. I mean, you know, I get the same message that I should be, you know, being more authentic with my own family. And then Breeze comes out to her family, and, you know, and then Ray's coming out tonight with languages and blessings. And this has just been an incredible night. So, and Grace tonight you know, that's the first time she's come on and pulled a card and actually spoke. And I'm so happy that Jody's here.
Done my energy work. That's
she
really
did it. Yeah, she did her
board.
Did great energy ball work tonight. And, you know, so, I mean, really pumped up the energy here, and just being together and sharing this energy and this light and this wisdom. And thank you, Will, for all the amazing research you did and sharing that you did with this new moon and this new moon energy, and everyone out there who's here now, who's watching, who will watch. We're all one, and we're all now. And as we interact more and more, we begin to dream about each other. We begin to feel each other's energy. We think about each other during the day. We send each other messages. We carry ourselves differently. Every time you come out of the closet in every tiny little way, you become stronger, you become more vulnerable, you become more confident, you become less, you become, so what people care, what people say, so what people think. This is who I am. And now had Bree not, you know, let go of the belief system that her mother wasn't able to wrap her mind around this, not only was she able to wrap around it, but she's embracing it. And now she's wearing ET shirts, and she's like, she's talking ET stuff, and she's walking ET stuff. You guys don't know. You don't know how far this woman has come. I mean, and so we need to pat ourselves on the back that this is an epic time right now, and this energy's epic. These new moons, these full moons, these eclipses, these equinoxes. Embrace this energy, because everything you want is there with you. It's within you. It's part of you. There is nothing else out there that's not a part of you. We are all a part of all that is. Therefore, by definition, there's nothing you can't touch. There's nothing you can't reach. There's nothing you can't channel. There's no information you can't receive. When you ask, the answer is given immediately. And Alicia got that proof, that lesson, I mean, flat out today. It was like, just ask. And in 5 minutes, she had that eloquent message. So this isn't, you know, it's metaphysical, but it's not complicated. Breathing. Start with breathing. Just start there, and the world will open up to you. So is there anyone, before I close with a blessing, is there anyone who wants to give any kind of a blessing, English or otherwise? Let's do this, and we're going to close out with just an energetic blast of galactic love.
Two cards. I was just randomly shuffling. Two cards.
Go ahead.
Throughout, and I'll do a blessing after this. But what this is the goddess deck. Wait, hang on. I always like to be able to see when I'm talking. Okay, so this is the goddess deck, and the first one that came out, if you can see it, was Ishtar. And it was all about boundaries and loving yourself enough to say no to others' demands on your time and energy, so you can focus on you to get you back together, which is what we talked about today. And then also Maat, and she talks about fairness and how the situations will be handled fairly and in just manner. So if you spend the time with yourself, say no to others, it's going to all be held in a fair manner, and you don't have to like worry that you're not doing something you should, because if you really are supposed to be doing it, you'll know. So does that make sense? Maybe I was talking really fast. So
absolutely.
Okay. And also, Wendy, I thought about the feather. Look at Matt's feather. I thought about your feather collection.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah.
Look at what a synchronicity. Oh, and look at the beautiful, is that a dove, a dove apiece?
Yes, yes.
Oh, is that beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
And fairness.
I also thought it was very synchronistic that we have Ishtar and Maat from, like Anunnaki, Sumerian, and Egypt, like all combined in there.
Oh, totally. I love that.
Fly out of my deck, of course.
Yeah, they just flew right out. And it's so, and actually it's very synchronistic for every single person sitting in this room. Every single person sitting in here relates to that deck and those energies, those archetypes. So absolutely, very, very strongly. Most definitely. Yeah, go for it. Let's
it gave me shivers. Wow, I got shivers.
I mean, totally. My fingers are kind of, they're tingling.
I love how my face is exploding with fire, and yet like I'm shivering up my spine. That's
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, galactic blessings. Okay. Here we go, baby.
All right, galactic blessings. Shuta haya na tiguaya mati shuboaitana. Guatia honiatia shikata diana honiatia. Yashiatia tukuaniatiata. Kiata awayanatia. Shuku uniata hanata. Kuashiati kuaniatia yato o komiatiana. Namaste.
Omia kuoshnia ataimi sata isanakewa hosotoshoya wakahi no toisi modia kahito. Mahala, sister. Oh, that was amazing. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
That was amazing. The infinite gratitude cushion.
Oh, thanks, Will. Is it Bree? You want to go?
Yeah, Bree, go ahead. Nyaso kwa shino kwa hana kwa satosi ma ashino kwa hanu kwa shu mahashu mahaki mahalua. My Lyran sister, my Lyran Syrian Yael,
etc., etc.
Oh, so nakashia.
You see a shiki don't okay, get serious here. All right. Yeah, I'd like to just I don't know, my intention is to put out good vibes for us all being able to properly balance everything and balance ourselves in this new lunar cycle. There's it's so beautiful if you follow astrology. It's so beautiful how, you know, all of this is just this huge, grand, divine, cosmic orchestration of complete awesomeness, and everything happens the way that it needs to, and all the energies align the way that they need to, and it's very beautiful, and how we can feel it now more than ever, and we're getting more sensitive. So it's all going the way that it should. So. Is indici kitias as aushonodo totonik haya hatias aishi nihitisi kisa hatatana hayaka oto sihete shiitis yan haoera niata ikiata hao no te shi tao so kisa hata is oro hoa anihikias eshiti sahaya nanante isa haor on toho o shini. Ki iais isho hunta hai kiasa ai shaate ika at ai soro to tina hai shahai kyoto oto eshinika. Namaste.
Ishimikia ainikia. Boy, you are not kidding. That Isha ina iwata ikua seshia. I feel this that connection with you, that I don't know, that Asian, I don't know what it is. And I know it's connected to the ET races and the you know what I mean? There's something there, and it's unmistakable with you. And yes, Bree does speak Japanese. She's actually been teaching little children's, which I love.
They're so cute.
I just think that's just so cute. Yes, I'm to say, and you know, yes, all of you out there, if anybody, I feel the need to say this, so somebody must need to hear it. That I was speaking with the children. That Bree and I've talked about this before. That the children, you know, our children, us and our children, and the children that are being born today. These are the children that are going to be greeting our galactic families and our children, our ET children. And so, and we were joking about how she'll be talking light languages to these little kids pretty soon, you know. And but for those of you out there, if there are any parents out there who are having any of these issues with your kids, and this runs the gamut with anything we've discussed tonight, you know, be open-minded, open your heart, embrace them, allow them to express themselves to you, even if you don't understand it. If they're speaking languages you don't understand, if they're talking about visiting places that you know, remember when you were a kid, we It was really happening, and we had to unlearn this behavior. We had to be taught that that was unacceptable, to be artistic and to be yourself and to speak languages like Alicia said earlier. You know, I'm astounded at how many people I'm finding that have been speaking these languages for years, even since their childhood, but over life have been taught that it was just not something you do in public, or you don't talk about it, or you don't bring it up. Just like all the rest of the bullshit that we've been learning all these years about all the things that we're not supposed to talk about. You know, well, it's about time we talk about it, because this is who we are. This is part of the human experience. Every single thing. You know, there's not one single thing that anybody could tell me anymore that could possibly surprise me about themselves. Nothing. Nothing. I can't think of anything anymore that would shock me. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I mean that in the opposite way, that I am able to embrace absolutely everything about everyone. There's nothing that anybody could do to say that they've done or are or feel or that would appall me or shock me, or because we're here to have these experiences and share these experiences, and then decide what experiences do we want to continue. Which ones do we, what resonates with us? And the ones that we've been, just because you've always been doing it is not a reason to continue to do it if it doesn't serve you and if it's not your highest core vibration. There's no, and now we're losing that need to justify a behavior that does not rhyme. It just, we're no longer needing to now, and in doing that, not only are we losing the need to justify behavior that we don't want to continue doing, we're losing the need to justify the behavior of discontinuing a behavior, a job, a relationship, a pattern, a thought that does not serve us anymore. How many of us over the years have had to justify eating healthy or choosing a healthy lifestyle because somebody else who didn't feel good about themselves, they needed to justify their own behavior to make you look bad because you're making a choice that's good for yourself? It's because we're teaching each other that by shining your light, that if somebody else is uncomfortable by you shining your light, it's simply because you're doing them a favor, because they've come to you because they needed to be reminded by their own guides. They've been brought to you because they needed to be reminded of some way that they're not shining their own light. And none of us wants to be reminded by anybody that we're not being authentic, that we're not being the best version of ourselves. But yet it's in that sharing, and it's in that not being afraid to shine and not being afraid to walk in our beauty. That's the time when we give each other permission to let all that stuff go, all of it, and to embrace our uniqueness and our differences. And yet we're so the same. At the core, we're absolutely all the same. We're the same source, you know, we're the same light, we're the same love, and I don't care what language you speak. And that's why light languages are so beautiful, because there's no ego, there's no thinking, there's no trying to translate it, there's no trying to pretend, there's no trying to say something in a roundabout way. It's, you just feel it. You're not trying to sugarcoat a message. Even when you're speaking sternly, which even when they're speaking sternly to us, we know it's from the heart. That it's, and so that's what I mean. That's just a little piece of what all of these gatherings are about self-love, self-acceptance, and stop bullying ourselves. And we're not going to stop seeing the reflection in our world of all of this stuff until we change it, until we stop doing it to ourselves. Everything we see in our world is simply a collective consciousness reflection of our own behaviors, period. There is no way around it, folks. That's just the way it is. So you don't heal the world, you heal you. And you heal you, you heal the world. That's the way it works. And so, yeah, let's come back full circle to the very beginning of this whole night. Is you got to do the work. You got to stop. This is the time to stop listening and start doing the work.
That's what I've been hearing.
Stop being
Wendy.
afraid. That's right. And stargazers out there tonight going, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to walk through this fear. Fear is it's a veil. It's not real. And I'm going to do this. And because I know in order for me to go to my next highest authentic self, I need to do this. And so I want to thank you all for that, for being your authentic selves tonight. Ashamiato shanaiki ilasotase samashia. So no omashateke satisha nisesea. So no kuleanta shase enya. And I do want to give the opportunity to Grace if there's something that you'd like to say and a blessing, and then I'd like to give Will the opportunity to give a blessing, and then I will close and say goodnight.
Okay, I just have one thing that just keeps repeating in my head, and it's do not fear the vulnerability in which you feel to heal the fear. I don't speak like the galactic
That's
part.
going to be really good. I mean, we're all going to listen to that on this recording again and go, wait, what did she just say?
Wow.
But it's not to be fearful of the purge of the, like when you get those hard feelings and you don't want to deal with it, it's like you need to deal with it, push through it to heal that fear. And someone needs to hear this tonight about just feeling each and every negative behavior and just letting it flow freely out. It's just, it's their time. It's the time for them to shine unbelievably above and beyond, and just, not to fear that vulnerability place, and just heal it, walk through it. I have so much gratitude for all of you. You've all helped me along this path, a lot of you that are in this room right now, and I appreciate each and every one of you, and I love you guys very much. Namaste.
Oh, Grace, thank you. So, namaste, thank you. And thank you always again for your love and support every day, and your messages and your readings and your sharings, and just thank you. And that was just an amazing, profound message for all of us. That was definitely needed. The world needed to hear. Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
Hey, Will, are you still there? Would you like to give us a blessing?
Hey, Wendy.
Hi, Will.
Of course I am.
Nishiaka Tisia.
Yeah, they've been speaking the whole time. I've been telling them, shh, I'm paying attention.
No doubt about it. I gotta pay attention. Yes, that's what, yeah.
I'd like, one of the things that I've noticed is that there is a web of energy between us, and all of our guides are cooperating with each other. That it's the languages and the blessings that have come out have been profound guidance from this web of entities and beings and profundity, that it's the same message coming out in different words, and that's all it is. It's simply amazing. All right, so I'll stop with the English and go with the light language. Soho no no hosaya achikaho no hoto awasasaya chana okotora isisini hi donohoa aisisi ananaya kawatana asasi ichihiu okohona na hosasasora saya chachika watanana nanihi tatahaya tatakaya hushashono no hayakai Sasaka una no chachiki hina na uta tohuraso sasosoko no hoshishikawa ikanana chichikuhua sisaya naa sasa kata ushana waya sasaka na husaso So sasawaya na kokutataya itakananaho sasakoto usananawa ayashashikananaha itatakananaho so utohosananawa ichichikahona ayakananawa saka itotadasha sisafini akananaho tatachiko usasasawiya nihisinanaya takatatatia tosananawa aya kananaharaskata isanono totokotochu chushukuya nasaniya asapiya totoras. Namaste, my friends. Gracias.
Just wow, Will.
I have one.
Excellent. Please go right ahead. Wow, Will.
Though I speak it in English so all can understand. Know that this is from the Pleiadian Council. We have been with you for a millennia. Know that we're guiding you, helping you, aiding you. Accept love, boundless love. Be who you are. Be who you should be, and not what others try to control. Open to your power and manifest your goals. All will be well on your new journey, and we welcome you with open arms. Aho.
Aho.
Aho, anuaka, shinatia, sato isa, yama kulanti shinato enoa, soto sesea, samoshinasa. Thank you, my dear stargazer, star brother. We share also a very intricate web of energy. I'm loving that, Will.
Yes.
And what an amazing, beautiful message that was, Will. I'm not sure even how to describe what I felt and what I'm feeling, and that was just beautiful. And I just want to thank you too, Ray, for that beautiful message and for stepping out of your comfort zone and the time that we've been spending together and helping each other through our times and our own healings. And it's been really great. It's been a wonderful experience. And thank you for lending us your light and your energy and your beautiful messages tonight.
You're very welcome.
And Will, yes, otoshimi kiato sase entanya maria kos kiaro kuisineawa she soporishinea ala kaliano alitia sonotesha alaki sonose sapa sonote shona aweki sonote. Could you explain the end of the greetings, Ray, of your message? Aho.
Aho is Native Cherokee, which also goes with the church's ending amen or I do.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Ikayano to say samote shanekia. I like that. That was beautiful. Omokoshe sinotose elakisa sonote kialaki sono. Every single person in this room and those of you watching, and I want to thank all of you out there who've been through here, been watching tonight, who are still with us. I wanted to say hello to everybody. Heather, so much love. Paula, love you. Michelle, I'm so glad you came. Everyone, Bright Celtic Moonlight, all of you, and all of you that will be watching this. We are igniting each other, and we're activating each other, and as Grace even said earlier about the vulnerability, And this has been a big message for me lately. And being vulnerable is not something I do. And it's not something I've ever done, ever, very well, ever. So being vulnerable for me is up to this point physically painful. And I bet you there's a bunch of people out there in the world who can relate to that. So we are igniting each other's courage. And it's interesting. I just picked up the deck and they said, pick it up. And I opened it in half, and that was it, igniting courage. So, and the bottom of it is, I am strong, valiant, and courageous. And I believe that is a perfect ending to this evening, this new beginnings, this gathering of lights, this new moon language of love lounge. We're igniting each other's courage. We're igniting each other's light by being vulnerable, by being okay with being scared and soft and hard and funny and all of the in between, of being galactic, about being earthling, about, and everything in between. And I just wanted to thank you all, because every time we all do this, and every time you guys do this with me, you ignite my courage. And I'm a Sagittarian, and I'm all about horses and freedom and flying. And, you know, when we do this stuff together, we're igniting each other's strength and courage, and giving each other permission to be spontaneous. And so thank you, Alicia, for, you know, being able to co-create this, and that we, you know, we're like, yeah, you know, it was tentative, and then it was what it needed to be, and it's when it needed to be, and with whom it needed to be. And that's what this is all about. So don't worry about who's there or not there or what. It's about this. It's about being together and igniting and uniting.
It all unfolded as it should.
As it should. And that's what this is. It's about learning the actual essence and living the actual energy of unity, consciousness.
And trust.
So, and complete trust. Yes, this is a place where we learn by being vulnerable together. We trust each other, and we're able to share things in ways that we just have never been able to before, have never wanted to, and when we're off the air, we're able to take this into our 3D world. It changes how we interact with our families, our children, our mates, our jobs,
and ourselves,
our employees, ourselves, all of it. So Miyasoto Sipaya, Shono Ewa Sanose, so Podishne Alaki Sanatea, Mone Waliashano, E Poshanate Sate Sanake, Lote Shanasa. Omo Shemayawa Aloha Maru Shaike, Lete Sanase Sanopaya, Leti Shena, Lote Rosanosa Sepoloshna, E Posate, Le Sonoto Pishno Ola Sisasi Shinoteva, Sonotewa, Nianoyawaliana, Le Tonaniawale Sishishaba. This is a very beautiful family that we're all discovering. And when you become familiar, people feel like family, and you feel comfortable with being vulnerable, with being yourselves, with showing your sadness, your anger, your fears, and knowing that you'll be loved unconditionally and supported, that there's camaraderie, not combativeness. There's no competition. There's only support and gratitude for each other, because we know, now we know, we really are reflections of each other. And when you truly see that person, that information as a gift, as a message from you, that's you speaking to you, you're kinder, to that reflection. You're kinder to that person. You're kinder to the world around you. You're kinder to you. And when you're kinder to you, you're able to accept someone else completely, completely. All their colors. Isn't that all we all really want? No matter where we live in the world and in the universe, we simply want to be loved and accepted for the colors that we are. Our prism, our light, whatever that is. That's all we're looking for. Feel this sacred space, this quiet place within your heart space, because it resides within each of us. And this is what we feel. This is what feels familiar when we find each other. Because we're our family. We are our family, and we're activating. We're finding our family. We're sending out that family reunion invitation energetically, intentionally, by healing, by sharing, by wanting to be the highest version of everything that we are and not being afraid to be that anymore. And we're all doing this together. We may be at different times in different places and different spaces, but we were all there once. And we will all be where each of us is. That's the way it works. There never ends. The learning never ends. The loving never ends. The lessons never end. And remember, every ET perspective, everything that's channeled, every guide, every angel, everything, it's simply a perspective. Simply a different perspective from the diamond of all that is, and it's just as equal as your perspective. It is not less, but it is not greater. They're not there to save you. They're there to guide you. Just like you don't want to save someone else. You don't want to be responsible for their demise or saving them. That's not your job. Your job is to be you, to simply shine your light. That's it. Nobody needs to be fixed. Nobody, all you need to be is you. And in doing you, that's how you fix the world, how you change your reality. So thank you all. For opening your hearts, opening your souls, allowing yourselves to be vulnerable and loving to yourselves and to each other, and wanting to be the best versions of yourselves. And as my friend Danny says, this is his highest version of himself project. And isn't that what we're all on? It's all we want to be is the best we can be. Believe you are strong and courageous, and that you are igniting the courage. It doesn't elude you. There's nothing outside. You contain everything. Remember that. Mosoto shimiali senatiwa alosanache sopashnaya loteshana. Aliyama kula latesonopila diamorosana. I leave you in this gratitude, in this knowing. And once again, know that I, we, and all that is greater for this experience, this moment in time. For everything is now, everything is here and now. And what you put out is what you get back. And we really all are the one. And the one really is the all. Yashotokima Tioposha Shishiawa. Patuya. I love you all. Namaste. Mahala. Shonokuyana.
Namaste.
Thank you all for being here. I love you. Good night, good beauty, good love, and good illuminations. And thank you. In grace and gratitude, we are one.